Alrighty, guys. We should be live.
Oh, it's not.
I'm
not
not.
live on. It's not showing live on.
Yep, it's just delayed. It just.
Oh, okay.
It was,
Definitely live here where you can see it.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It's live at the top of StreamYard, so it should be a little, maybe just be a little delayed.
Yep. All right, so we kind of all know that drinking the Kool-Aid has been associated with things like politics and cults and, all kinds of things, because generally drinking the Kool-Aid is about following along, not necessarily because, you've done your homework and made some kind of intelligent decision about it. You just kind of get caught up into this cycle of listening to somebody. Usually there's a head, and they, it's either religious based or something. They have a goal, and they want to get people to come in and join into their goal. So we all know about Jonestown, which is obviously what this picture's about. I had a couple others examples, so Jonestown's not really the only example of it. We also have, the infamous Charles Manson, right? And this guy, Heaven's Gate guy, everybody knows him, right? And I don't even know what this is from, but obviously this is some kind of weirdness. Save the planet, kill yourself. Like,
Skynet message.
Some kind of parade where they're spouting this, right? So I have to assume that that's probably affiliated with some kind of cult. Obviously, we have Charles Manson again. And then I have here some information that I wanted to share before we go into people's discussion. And here. So I found this was kind of interesting, and it's about 4 personality traits that cult leaders have in common. Okay. So one is they are narcissistic. This is probably pretty obvious since we're talking about people who literally establish cults around themselves and their own personalities, but it bears mentioning that cult leaders tend to be highly self-absorbed. They may have simply grown up thinking that they're superior, or some cult leaders gain their sense of self-aggrandizement after having what they believe to be an encounter with a god or a deity, obviously the religious cults. And it's that visit that inspires them to start their cult. Either way, narcissism is the root of several other behaviors commonly associated with cult leaders. They demand extreme loyalty, they don't allow criticism, and seek to control everything that goes on within their following. Because they're driven by their ego, they believe that they deserve to make these commands. Well, that makes sense, doesn't it?
Yeah.
They are charismatic. If there's one thing that pop culture has taught us about cult leaders, it's that they are charismatic. As common as that descriptor is, it's actually a rather complicated and pretty subjective term. It could describe to the leader's way of speaking, dressing, or treating their followers. Whatever it is, there's a magnetism to it that's hard to resist. They have that aura of being special, or people attribute that to them. What appears to be special to one person might not be all that alluring. It comes down to the cult leader finding the people who respond well to how they present themselves, and then bringing that group, no matter how small, under their wing. This sets up charisma by proxy, which refers to the cult leader's inner circle taking up their cause and spreading it to a wider range of people than the cult leader themselves would be able to appeal to effectively. Right, so that makes sense. you gather in maybe 5 people, you bring in those people might, know 2 more people each that they can bring in, and then, it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. They are unpredictable. Along with their magnetic personality and overall confidence, a cult leader's erratic behavior allows them to maintain that aforementioned power imbalance. The leader will limit how often they can actually appear before their following. Then, when they do show up, they'll act with total duplicity. You don't know if he's going to come in as a raging bull or as a sweet seducer. This tactic is a surefire way to keep followers on edge with a desire to please the leader. They have a turn on. Once they've established their movement and gotten a piece of power, most cult leaders develop a clear motivating force behind their actions, be it status, money, sex, or all three. Even if they claim to be working or speaking for a higher power, it's far more likely that they're acting to serve their own ego, and the lengths they'll go to satisfy their desires are usually far beyond the average person's limits. They demand things that a decent human being wouldn't. Right? So the other thing I found that I thought was interesting was this characteristics associated with cults. And these are just kind of bullet points that I wanted to read because I found them kind of interesting. The group displays excessively zealous and unquestioning commitment to its leader, and whether he is alive or dead, regards his belief system, ideology, and practices as truth and as law. Questioning, doubt, and dissent are discouraged or even punished. Mind-altering practices such as meditation, chanting, speaking in tongues, denouncing sessions, or debilitating work routines are used in excess and serve to suppress doubts about the group and its leaders. The leadership dictates, sometimes in great detail, how members should think, act, and feel. In example, members must get permission to date, change jobs, or marry, or leaders prescribe what to wear, where to live, whether to have children, how to discipline children, and so forth. The group is elitist, claiming a special exalted status for itself, its leaders, and its members. An example, the leader is considered the Messiah, a special being, an avatar, or the group and or leader is on a special mission to save humanity. The group has polarized us versus them mentality, which may cause conflict with the wider society. The leader is not accountable to any authorities, unlike, for example, teachers, military commanders, or ministers, priests, monks, and rabbis of mainstream religious denominations. The group teaches or implies that its supposedly exalted ends justify whatever means it deems necessary. This may result in members participating in behaviors or activities they would have considered reprehensible or unethical before joining the group. An example, lying to family or friends or collecting money for bogus charities. The leadership induces feelings of shame and or guilt in order to influence and control members. Often this is done through peer pressure and subtle forms of persuasion. Subservience to the leader or group requires members to cut ties with family and friends and radically alter the personal goals and activities they had before joining the group. The group is preoccupied with bringing in new members. The group is preoccupied with making money. Members are expected to devote inordinate amounts of time to the group and group-related activities. Members are encouraged or required to live and or socialize only with other group members. The most loyal members, the true believers, feel there can be no life outside the context of the group. They believe there is no other way to be and often fear reprisals to themselves or others if they leave or even consider leaving the group. Okay, so looks like I'm missing a bunch of
Everybody's saying hello. Everybody.
Hello,
Hi,
my daughter.
everybody.
My
Hello,
daughters.
everybody.
Hi, Sophie. Hello, Sophie.
So,
Hi, Gigi.
Evie, Brian Pan, Mandy Horse, Sophie,
Hi,
Nick Naps
Mandy.
in here, Gigi, Radka.
Oh, Brian, there's loads in here.
Yeah, welcome everybody. So this was
Hi.
initially what I wanted my conversation to be about. And then I happened to be talking to Lisa, and I mean, obviously, probably most of us know people that maybe fall under some sort of portion of this category. Maybe they don't have like full-fledged cults, but you know, to me, this is kind of the huge example of maybe like the bully on the playground, right? The bully on the playground, they run around with their little group. Like they're, you know, the bully has their little henchmen that, you know, are going to make you, you know, listen if you don't, you know, follow what the bully says. So, you know, you can start out very small and end up really big with these really crazy ideals that, well, typically they're religious leaders, but, you know, it can really be in any area of life. And then, you know, Lisa felt that this whole incident with J Bells was something that kind of slid into this, only because people being fake, cult leaders are fake, right? Cult leaders are fake because they take something good that people believe in, or an ideal that they want to live, or, you know, we're going to save the world. That's a great idea, right? We're going to save the world, just like, you know, on all the pageants, like the big Miss America and US pageants and all, you know, they get up there and they say, I want world peace. It's a grandiose idea, and we all really want that. But being able to achieve it in one group or one person is not really how that's going to happen. But these cults, they make the people in their group believe that without that person, they can't live, they can't survive, and they can't achieve this goal that they want in their life. And so we kind of decided to mesh this kind of all together because I wanted to talk about this. I do think that these fake people, and not just fake people that, you know, tell you a little lie here and there, but I mean, you know, they make up their entire life story or half of their life story. There is a piece of this inside of what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So what do you guys think?
No, I agree. Absolutely. And it wasn't half a life, it was a whole life. Literally everything.
Which is so unusual because usually it's just pieces or most of, or it's not usually the entirety of everything.
Yeah. But can I just say, it's not just me. I mean, Kaz was actually a bigger victim in all of this than I was, to be
I
absolutely
was just thinking about, for me, it's the control element.
Yeah.
Everybody has to be controlled, and the ways of manipulating that differ in people.
Right.
You know, you have ways of controlling your people. In Lisa and I's case, it was kind of like we were sort of alienated from one another.
Yeah.
You know, Kim, you were around.
Right.
We both spoke to you about it at the time.
Yeah.
When it was like, you know, Kim's a great person because she stays out the middle of things, and she was just waiting for both of us to sort it out, and effectively and gladly we did.
Yeah.
But for people who were as close as Lisa and I, something was wrong there anyway, and everybody who was looking at it from outside probably thought, what on earth's happened there?
Yeah.
And truth be told, we didn't actually really know that much ourselves. We were
we didn't know.
hoodwinked. And it's the control. I want this situation. How do I get this situation? And the calculation behind that is alien to me, because I don't think that way. Now
Right.
I've had to become conscious of people thinking that way and watching for the signs, like, you know, the gaslighting. I didn't say that, when you know that they did say that.
Yeah.
They'll say things like that, and they'll convince you of things, or try to convince you of things, and at first you think, nah, I don't think so, but then more and more drama and lies will be brought into the play until you believe what they're saying to you. So it's the forms of control, and also in my case, very much going to other people and lying about me.
Yes.
Basically dragging my character down, and me either not being aware of that, or even if I'm aware of that, I can't really respond, because what would be the point? But just ways to control. If they can't control you, they will control other people's perception of you.
Yes, absolutely. And that is exactly what happened. I don't know. I mean, I haven't told anyone on my channel. I've asked everybody to come over, but a lot of people don't actually know anything. I don't know who's in here.
Hi, Sophie Rachel. Sophie Rachel just came in.
That's my daughter.
It is. It's well soft.
So, you know, I've had a lot of time to kind of, because like you said, I didn't have a lot of direct personal interaction with this person. My interaction was more with the two of you separately and together, and separately and together, you know, with this person and that interaction. And like you said, I did decide when there seemed to be some sort of conflict between you and Lisa,
Yeah.
I didn't want to make a choice between the two of you. And I felt whatever was going on was something that somebody didn't know what it was. Somebody might have known what it was, but the other person probably didn't.
Yeah.
And I wasn't going to get in the middle of that and choose, because I didn't. I love both of you. I didn't want to choose.
Yeah,
No, I know you didn't know. I know you didn't know.
No, but I'm saying that's the point. Nobody should ever have to choose. That's
right.
not, if you're ever made to choose, then that's the wrong person.
wrong.
It's wrong.
Okay, but okay, so I get criticized because I handle people in this way. I get criticized a lot for it, and I've had one friend that we really had issues with it because of. But some people, a lot of people seem to have the opinion of, okay, so let's say that Kaz did something to Lisa, right? And whatever Kaz did to Lisa was absolutely horrible. And then I find out about that. And then Lisa gets upset with me because I don't say, okay, well, what Kaz did was horrible, so now I'm not going to speak to Kaz anymore. Yeah. Okay, so there are certain things in my mind that one person does to another that warrants you breaking off even that other friendship, even though that person didn't do something to you, because there's so many things that you can gather about somebody's personality by the way they treat other people. Even if they treat you like a king or a queen, if they're horrible to everybody else, it should make you think, what are they after from me? Because they're obviously treating me different than all these other people for some reason. And so I knew that because of the friction between the two of you, that something else had to be going on. And I spoke with you both individually, and I didn't feel like either one of you had lied to me. And because what you both said to me did not make sense to, together, when you take both things that I was told and you put it together, it did not make sense to me. I knew there had to be another piece to the puzzle.
Yeah.
And, so then it comes out that all this happened. And then, of course, my first thing was to Kaz. I was like, so now that the cat's out of the bag.
You said that to me as well. You went, now it makes sense. Now it makes sense. You actually
because
said that
right, there had to be something else in the mix that caused this thing that didn't make any sense to me, because I never felt that either one of you two was lying to me. One of the things that I've thought about more recently is, when you think about the fact that particularly you, Kaz, were trying to be alienated from everybody else by various means. I have two questions in that. One, that's abusive behavior. That's, like what abusers do. The first thing they like to do is separate people from their family and their friends so that you have nobody to go to. All you have is this person. And my other thing was, how is it out of a large group of people that had been told falsehoods and stories or whatever, how is it that nobody went to you and said, "Are you okay? Is there something going on?" I never did understand that, because I thought if all these people were really friends with you, I mean, because if she had come to me and said, you know, "Oh my gosh, I'm really worried about Kat," like my first reaction would have been, "Have you talked to her?
Yes.
Have you talked to her? Have you found out, is there anything that can be done to help her, whatever?" And then if I wasn't satisfied with that, which I probably wouldn't have been, because I generally don't trust people. So I am not somebody that, I generally would not, I would not believe somebody randomly coming to me and say, "Well, you know what? Lisa said this about you." And then, I would go to Lisa and say, "Lisa, is this true? Do we have a problem? Let's talk this out." Right.
Yeah.
So I never did understand why. And I can't blame the entire group of people that did this. What I don't understand is not one of them was like, "This doesn't make sense to me. Let me go to the." Well,
It goes
right,
to
but
it does. I should have done. And I
why don't
regret
I
that.
go? But see, here's also the thing you have to take into consideration. But see, to me, there was so many people involved in this whole web of deceit.
Yeah.
This is really what it is. It's a very intricate web of deceit. And though some of us are way on the outskirts of the web, I mean, there were things that we still got caught up into inadvertently. And what I didn't understand is, okay, if let's make up a number, right? And let's say 20 people were involved. Out of 20 people, you would like to think if people were spreading lies or rumors or anything about you, out of 20 people, one person would go, "You know what? Let me go find out if that's really what's going on." Not only that, if what was being said was the God's honest truth, my response would have been, "We need to help her.
Yes.
We need to help her. Who do we need to call? Who do we need to contact?" I mean, even if you contacted her and contacted Kaz and said, "Hey, are you okay?" And she just said, "Yeah, I'm fine," and you were like, "Well, this doesn't make sense." That's the part I know I cannot wrap my head around. I can understand being, bamboozled by this person, because it was a very slow, well, I consider it slow, because it wasn't like, okay, in a week they were, trying to take advantage of everybody, right? It's one thing to another. And then of course, then you add in the fact that they bring in something like, "Well, I have a brain tumor." That's why I don't remember that I told Lisa one thing and I told Kaz one thing. And generally you have to just believe people with their health issues, because what are you going to do? Ask them for their doctor's note?
That's it. What are you going to do if you suspect somebody's up to something, which I did, because a lot of stuff didn't add up. But you
Right.
want to go, "Why are you bullshitting when
Right.
somebody's dying?" You just don't. It's just something.
Kaz and I have said the same thing. Both of us felt the same way. How awful would it be? I spent 2 days on my own, like struggling with what I was gonna say to people, because I thought they're just gonna turn around and go, "Are you serious? This person, how dare you? How could you say this about somebody that's had all this tragedy?" And oh my God, just so, hi, Mrs.
Good point. Hello, stranger. Nice
Wow.
to see you.
I'm glad you were able to make it, Mrs. Roger Rabbit. She says, when you see a pattern of behavior regularly repeated, you start to realize it's not the people the finger is being pointed at, but the person pointing the finger.
Yeah.
Right. Because it's almost like I've got to get their head off of me and onto somebody else.
Yeah.
And I do think that it's very telling that you were the one that was really attacked in this way, because you were the one most likely to figure out that something wasn't right and go and tell everybody.
Well, I wasn't the only one either that had this done to them. There were 2 other people who both started to cotton on and question things, and then there was outrageous stories told about them, like they were
Right.
stalking her, stalking other people, So there were 2 others that had the same treatment as me, only mine was worse because it was harder to get me out of the picture.
Yeah.
Right. Well, I don't have a personal interaction with, I'm assuming, the other people, like I do you. So to me, what I saw happen to you was very shocking. And as a matter of fact, my friend up here in the corner,
Hi.
I told her time and time again that this doesn't make sense. Something's not right here. What is going on? And all I could say is, well, I'm going to have to wait until it ferrets itself out, because I knew there was another piece that we were missing to the puzzle. And when it came out, I was like, bingo, there it is.
Yeah, there was a lot of, when I found this out, because I'd already kind of been through the bad stuff and picked myself up off the floor, got myself sorted out. Luckily, I'd kind of been through the really painful bit and then come out the other side. And when this all came to light, I was like, right, now it all makes sense. Everything that I've seen, the way I've been treated. But then there were the underlying issues of, again, why did nobody reach out? Nobody at all, not one person who'd been told.
However, I don't know if Kim knows this, but the first person that I thought about calling was Kaz.
I have no doubt about that.
So, and she thought that I wouldn't know and that I would maybe tell Jay, because we hadn't spoken for so long, we were out of connection with each other.
Yeah.
See, and I had no doubt that the two of you, whenever whatever happened or came out, or whatever the third piece of the puzzle was, I knew you guys would fix whatever had happened, because I knew that something had to be interfering in whatever was going on there, because it didn't make sense to me. I mean, I've talked to you guys together and separately enough to know that, like, you guys get along too well. Yeah, you could have a fight and talk it out and fix it. But, you're both similar in that you would rather talk to each other and fix it.
Yeah.
I just couldn't see that being a permanent situation. I knew whatever it was had to come out and that it would fix itself.
You know she's here right now, don't you? She's here right now.
I don't care.
Probably.
Hello, Radka.
Hello, Radka. Oh my God. Hello. I haven't seen Radka in ages. Wow.
The thing that worried me, I think the thing that hurt was, like, if so many people were willing to believe this about me without even checking on me, did they not really like me to start with? And I think for Lisa, I know that's not the case, but she had constant interference. But for other people involved, it really hurt that probably they weren't that keen on me in the first place. And I felt a little betrayed, and I'm allowed to say that.
You should do.
Absolutely.
You should do. I've got
your feelings are valid, whatever they are, regardless of what other people think. And, you are absolutely allowed to speak them. I mean, Lisa asked to come on and tell her story because she doesn't want to do it by herself. She wants support. You guys know that I do not allow, craziness to go on my channel, and I won't. So, it gives you a protected place to come and just freely discuss it. I'm not going to sit there and, put a censor over your face and say, no, you can't say that, because, your feelings, regardless of what they are your feelings. And they came out of this situation that, most people never go through in their life, so they wouldn't even have a clue of how they would feel or how they would handle it, or anything else. Right.
I have seen people say this would never happen to me.
I've seen that too.
It can happen to anybody.
No idea. It's so, unless you're in the situation, it's impossible. People on the outside will always say, "Oh, I told you so. Oh, I knew it." But actually, when you're in the situation, it's so different to people outside of any situation, domestic abuse, any kind of situation. Unless you're actually in that situation, nobody knows what it's. And to say, "Oh, I would have known." Really,
Mrs. Roger Rabbit, I don't mean to interrupt, Lisa, but
Sorry.
She says, I totally missed something here, probably kept me out of trouble from the sounds of it. Yeah, so Lisa will go into her whole story of what happened. We just kind of wanted to have the discussion first because it's going to take her some time to get that story out, and we wanted people to have a chance to get here, and so that they don't come in and go, oh, what happened, and we have to go, well, rewind. Because I hate nothing worse than somebody going, well, it happened 20 minutes ago, just rewind back. Well, no, that means I got to watch till the end and then go back and watch it, because I'm not rewinding now and then missing what's going on now, because then I forget it.
Have to do what I do on my lives and give a summary every 10 minutes.
But
it's completely insane. The whole thing is insane.
Right, and I think one of the things that gives that reaction of, well, that wouldn't happen to me here on YouTube, is I think there is a portion of YouTube audience that seems to be in a box, right? YouTube is what they go to. YouTube is basically their social media. Maybe they do Facebook, but most of their information or interaction with YouTubers is on YouTube. And I think because of that, they think, well, you really shouldn't trust people on YouTube. But what I don't think people understand is this person was doing this to people in reality way before it got moved to people who happened to be on YouTube. Mm-hmm. So it ended up being a split thing here. So yes, there were people that only was on YouTube that was involved in this, but then there were people on YouTube and personally involved in this. And so you can't as an outsider, you can't say, well, that would never happen to me. I mean, I could say that because I might think that, but as careful as I am and as untrusting as I am, I mean, everybody still has to trust a little bit. If you're interacting with people enough, there is a little bit of trust you have to have with those people to have conversations, right? And so when you have somebody who starts out with those small little trusts, and they just poke in this little bit of information here and there and everywhere, by the time they've really got their because when I heard Lisa retell her portion of the tell her portion of the story on a live, when you list out everything that happened, like as you list out everything, well, she said she had this and this and this, it sounds ridiculous that you would believe that. But what happens is it started out with this one little piece, and then it moved further down the line, and then there was this other little piece, and then this other little piece. And there are people in the world who are really very sick and have terrible things happen to them. A lot of terrible things happen to them. So it really isn't so far-fetched. But when you hear it in this condensed form, when Lisa tells it, you think, well, that's ridiculous that somebody would believe that. But what you have to understand is this was over a time span. This wasn't in, this 1 hour, 2 hour, 3 hour live there, however long it takes her to, to talk about this. That's not the short time span that you find out this information. It's over a longer period of time. And so, piece here, a piece there,
I think what it is between those pieces, you have your normal everyday conversations that you have with people.
Right.
How are you? Oh, look at this paint I got to decorate this. Your general chit chat between friends, and it just feels so natural. So you've got no reason to doubt really what's being said to you.
Yeah. Are you okay over there, Lisa? Oh, okay, that's fine.
I'm just sharing the link. 1 second.
Yeah, this whole thing has been completely unbelievable, and I know that Lisa wanted to let the people on her channel know what was going on, and so she's like, can I do it? here on yours? And I'm like, absolutely. And then she's like, well, maybe we should invite Kaz. And I'm like, absolutely. You know, if there's any, you know, after Lisa shares her story, if there's anybody else out there that was affected by this that wants to come up here and talk to us, I have no problem with that either. We can share out the link.
And if anybody has questions, I'll answer them to the best of my ability as well, I think.
Yeah, so any questions is cool. Anything, but like I said, I haven't told. I mean, a lot of people on my channel don't know. I've gone on other people's and talked, but actually my own subs, like that Mrs. Roger Rabbit, obviously doesn't know. I don't know what you want me. Do you want me to say now, or
you can go right ahead? Yeah, I didn't even get a chance to tell Mrs. Roger Rabbit what was going on because things have been very crazy in my own personal life besides all of this going on. But no, go right ahead.
Where do I start? Okay.
Not the day you were born. Let's not start there. We'll be here all night.
So I'm sure most of my subs probably remember J Bells in the chat. She would come in the chat quite a lot. And I met her through Kaz. No blame, by the way. I'm not.
No, I know. I just, it makes me cringe inwardly. Sorry. Go on.
No, it's fine. It's fine. You didn't. No, nobody knew, did they? But I met this J Bells, who we would Zoom together. We'd have fun together. We'd, you know, get together and have a laugh. And she had a tragic life, a really tragic life. She said she was she grown up in orphanages. Her whole family was annihilated when she was a child. So when she was 9, she had a 7-year-old sister. Apparently her father shot her mother and her sister and then himself, and left her alive. And I remember saying to her, why would he do that? Why would he leave you alive? And she said, oh, because, you know, it was punishing me more. It was punishing me. And I was like, okay, it's fine. and then, well, it's not fine, but, you know, I could understand that. So she grew up in orphanages. And what I did notice was that, for example, I love Rome. I've been to Rome. I love Rome. It's one of my favourite places. And one of the orphanages that she went to was in Rome. And that happened to be where she met her husband, Alessandro. Although she told other people different stories. Again, that was the whole thing. She told me that because that kind of was something that I could engage with, was because it was Rome and she could talk about Rome and say how she loved the city and all the rest of it. So that was her engagement with that. Although she told nobody else, just me, about Alessandro in Rome. So she said they met when she was like 16, 17, got married in Italy. She said that then she got married to him, and then she got pregnant with a baby, and then her husband died of encephalitis, and she was like very, very late in her pregnancy. So it was about a couple of weeks after he died that she had her baby. Then her baby got really poorly and ended up dying as well. So that was tragic. All of that was tragic. Then it turned out that she had a brain tumor, and she was getting seizures and all the rest of it through this brain tumor. So it was like, okay, no, this is horrendous. It was such a tragic life. I was thinking, how can all this happen to one person? She came and stayed. I took her on holiday, and again, this is another thing that happened with Kaz. Kaz was supposed to come on holiday with myself and J Bells, and ended up not, because again, Kaz was being manipulated out. And we've talked about this since, haven't we, Kaz? She did not want us to be in that such close proximity for a long time, because she knew that the stories were different, and she knew that she'd be on edge all the time, thinking, oh my god, what did I tell her? What are they going to talk about? And I think it would have really messed her up. She wouldn't have enjoyed herself. So just, you know, if Kaz wasn't there, she didn't have to worry. So anyway, so then she came and stayed here. She stayed here for about a few days before the holiday and after the holiday. Had her own room in my house. Stayed here. Lots of weird stuff has happened since that I can go into later. But she had a seizure here, right here in this room. And also, when she had an abortion, I drove all the way to London. So it took me 5 hours to get to London because she said she was pregnant with a baby and she needed to get it aborted. She told other people different things. She told other people she'd miscarried. Turned out there was no baby. The person that she showed me the picture of that was the father, I ended up meeting on a Zoom because there was a load of us that she scammed, a huge amount. There was like people all over the UK, people in America. She scammed so many people. And the guy that she showed me was the father, is gay. It was like, no, my partner is in the next room. I'm not, that's never happened. So he was like, what the hell's going on? But I went and I drove 5 hours there to get there for her appointment, and stayed, supported her. She didn't want me to go. She said, no, I need support. Nothing. And she wasn't even pregnant. Again, I drove all the way back, 4.5 hours back. But there were so many red flags. I know I'm probably skipping so many things because my head's still a little bit all over the place with it all. It's kind of, I keep remembering stuff. I keep thinking about stuff. I'm thinking, oh my God, what was I thinking? What the hell was I thinking? She just, and while we were in Cornwall, while we were on holiday, she told us it was her 40th birthday. And so I ordered a silver plectrum for her because she plays the guitar. And so, oh my God, there's so many things. She said she'd written songs that it turned out she hadn't written. But an engraved plectrum, silver plectrum for her birthday, and a cake and all the rest of it for her 40th card, all the 40th birthday cake. She wasn't 40. She was 34. Why lie? Why add 6 years to your age? She said she was talking to Chris Watts. On the phone, she said she was a forensic psychologist that had spoken to Ian Huntley, that had interviewed Myra Hindley, that had interviewed all these these massive criminals. She said she was world renowned. But when I tried to Google her, nothing came up, absolutely nothing. And I tried so many times to Google her. And she told me the reason was because she was in a witness protection program, and the police had removed everything because her uncle was part of her abuse. She had all this abuse that went on around her as she was growing up. And the police, she was in a witness protection program. I mean, there were other people that she spoke to. She never did this with me, but with other people, was using voice changers to pretend to be the nurses that were looking after her, the police. Poor Sian was getting phone calls from MI6 on a voice, and it was her the whole time. She had a voice changer. She had about 10 mobile phones that she was using for different, oh my God, it's just insane. I mean, I'm saying it now, and I can understand why people say, how did you not know? I can understand it, but actually, when you're in that situation, and she was so lovely. She was so lovely. I don't know. And I feel really stupid saying it because people are going to think, oh my God, how did you? But
I don't think you should feel stupid. I mean, you
you
didn't get all that information in that little bit that you just told us. You got that information over a period of time.
It was over a good, what was it, Kaz? A good 14, 15 months?
Yeah.
It was over a year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was a long time.
It's interspersed with just normal everyday friendship. Like,
yeah.
Just day-to-day chat. There's no reason to doubt that, like, kind of these horrible things happen. Yes, and you're thinking, oh my God, how much can one little person take?
Yeah.
You know, that's kind of how your perspective works. You know, because she was a little sweetie. She used to
Yeah,
act
she
so
was.
sweet, so never wanted to be a bother to anybody. When, you know, of course, in hindsight, that's exactly what she wanted to be. You know, she was always so sweet, and I know with other people, she's been ratty and she's lost her temper, but with you and
She
I,
never
she
did
was
with
never
me.
like that.
She never did with me, not
So she's
once. No.
very, very good, and I should
Yeah.
imagine some stuff really annoyed her, because we weren't believing everything she said.
Yeah.
At times, and I think that's probably really annoyed her, but she was very good at hiding that. And I think she used to take petty little revenges other ways.
But she was very, very good at separating everyone. I mean, with Kaz, for example, I don't feel. Thanks, Mrs. Roger
Exactly.
Rabbit.
You were the one who found out in the end. If it wasn't for you, nobody would know.
But I spent I didn't know what to do. I didn't know who to go to. I didn't know who to tell. I didn't know what to do, because I felt really alone, because I knew that everybody loved her and everybody felt sorry for her, and I had started to think, because she was saying things about Kaz, and I've talked to Kaz about this since. I keep going like that, it's the wrong way. I've said things to Kaz since where I've actually said to her, no, Kaz wouldn't do that. I really can't see Kaz doing that. Why would, like she said that Kaz was going to break into her house, that she needed security cameras while she was on holiday with me so that she could keep an eye on. And I was like, why would she do that? Why would she drive or come all the way from Newcastle, which is like a 7-hour, 8-hour car journey? Why would she do that when you're not even there? Why? She went, no, I need security cameras. And I said, well, if that makes you feel better, that's fine. But I really don't think you have to worry about that. And there was a few things that she said that I was like, no, Kaz, I can't imagine Kaz doing that. But she would drip feed me awful things about Kaz and say, she said this about you, and she said that about you, and show me emails that Kaz had sent to other people that had been sent back to her, and show me. And I'd be like, oh my God, really? Is that what she? And then it got to the point, I'm pretty sure there were emails that
she get a hobby, me. That's all I've got to say.
But there were messages that I know weren't from you that she'd manufactured, because I actually sent one to Kaz and I said, did you write this? Because I didn't think she did. And she went, no, I don't. And I'm so sure she was manufacturing.
It was one she'd sent me, and what it appeared she'd done is she'd typed the whole message in, but she hadn't clicked send.
Yes.
I could be a burglar, but there's not many windows I'd fit through. I'll be honest.
But that was it. That was it. And I said, you could still see the typing thing underneath, couldn't you? Mm-hmm. On the one that I sent you, you could see that she'd. And I said, you didn't send this, did you? And she was like, no. So again, that was her manipulating. She was actually manufacturing. And she said things about Kaz sending messages to her work email, which she said she was a forensic psychologist and worked at in London. That was all lies. That was completely wrong. I don't know if everybody here knows, but her name wasn't even her name. Her age wasn't her age. We don't actually know anything about her, really. Not really. Well, we do a bit more now, but we didn't. We had no idea what her name was, how old she was, where she lived. Nothing. What was that? Oh wow, I would worry about if it wasn't for the Joker fascination. I can't believe she remembered that. Still there.
How could anybody forget?
Still there. Still there. Still there. Have I just been rambling? I'm so sorry.
No, keep on going. Yeah, you need to get it out. It'll make you feel better. That's fine. And
yeah, but it's just to let people know as well why I've kind of, because all of my time was going on this person. Like literally, I was Zooming her every night. I wasn't working because I've been working right the way through the pandemic. But when I wasn't, I'd be Zooming, videoing, calling, messaging. I never, and if I said, oh, I really fancy doing a live, she'd go, oh no, don't. Let's just have a chat. Let's just have a Zoom. Where is she now? Still in London, as far as I'm aware. I don't know. She lives in London, so.
That's not doxing. London's a big place.
Oh.
Yes, London's a big
I
place.
haven't.
It's
No,
not doxing when you're giving out general
doxing.
information. People think doxing is things that it's not.
No, exactly.
You see, I'm too honest.
You know what it is? There's no such
People ask me
thing.
something, I go,
There is honestly no such thing as too honest. You've met my husband. He
that's true.
says really brutally honest things, and I love him for it, because at least he
No,
always
he's cool.
tells
He's
us
cool.
the truth.
Yeah,
He always tells us the truth, and God, that's valuable in a person.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like gold dust, unicorn poop.
Yes.
So rare. And
Exactly.
I really, really value that.
But yeah, it was just yeah. So I found out one night just before Christmas, because she was supposed to be staying with me for Christmas. She was supposed to be coming for Christmas, and my mum had weird vibes about her before she'd even met her. I was just talking to her, and she was like, I've got really bad feelings. And I was like, well, actually, I do too. She didn't want to kind of have her there because she was concerned because of all sorts of, I'm not going to go into the details, but all sorts of things. She knew that there was a problem because of things that she was saying that she knew about. And then just before Christmas, I found out for sure. I knew that she was lying. She lied to me about something. She got drunk online, and she told me something that I knew was a lie, blatant lie. She said she'd written a song, and I looked it up, and it wasn't by her. It was by another artist. And
Lisa, you have a question. You have a question. You have a question. Did you manage to confront her?
Yes. Yes. We did. I did confront her with a couple of other people, but she lied on the confrontation, to be honest, about a few things. Not everything, but she kind of told more and more lies. And so it's very hard to know what to believe when you know that everything about them is a lie. That I kind of think, well, why do we even bother? Because how do we know that what she's going to say is the truth anyway? So, but we did confront her. Yeah, there is.
Well, maybe the confronting was a bit more for closure for you guys than actually
so, yeah.
feeling like you get anything honest out of it.
Yeah.
Gigi says, holy moly, she wrote that song, and she's got laughing emojis there.
Yeah, she said that she wrote lots of songs. There were, Kaz and I, she would play, oh my God, she would play them to Kaz and I on a Zoom and cry about, she'd say that it was a wedding song. Then when
I
she
wrote
when
this
she
song
married,
for my husband, who never existed.
never existed.
Well, he did, but he didn't. He was somebody she had a brief relationship with, but she was never married to him.
No, she was never married.
And he's still alive, you'll be pleased to know. And very well in his own life.
Well, I guess maybe that's one good thing that came out of it. None of the people she said were dead were actually dead.
Yeah, but apparently there were a lot of people dying around her. I mean, really, we were quite lucky, really.
Right, you guys didn't die.
Trail of bodies behind her.
Well, she told one of us that she'd had 16 babies die or sold into slavery. That she was genetically modified to be a superhuman. Honestly, the fantastical tales. We were quite lucky, really, when we look at what she's told other people.
Yeah. I mean, literally, she had to keep us apart. She had to. There was no way that she could have us together, because she knew that she told different stories to so many different people, and nothing. I mean, her whole life. I had somebody in my house, and I don't even know who
they were. Right. I have a question. So I know that at least there was one time that the Kaz and you and Jay and I were in my Discord having a conversation, and as I was told the next morning by you guys had a bit to drink while we were all giggling and laughing. And so I'm wondering, how do you think that she kept her story straight
But that's the thing.
while she was drunk.
She
No
didn't.
idea. I'm even more honest when I'm drunk, so I don't
But
know.
she didn't. That's how I caught her out. Was because
So
she
she
was
was saying things that made you question when
yeah,
she
when
was
she was
drunk.
yeah.
Because
And
that seems to me like something she wouldn't want to do.
you think so. You think so. But when somebody gets kind of that arrogant about how well they're lying and that into it, they kind of, it's almost like
Well,
they're
right, they've already
trying-
been running this con for a while, and it's been working. So I guess maybe you get, false sense of security there.
Yeah. Yeah.
So Janelle Keene asked, did anyone call an ambulance for the seizure?
No. Because it wasn't a seizure. It absolutely was not a seizure. I experienced 2 seizures, actually, and both, and one on camera. She did one on camera as well, and it was not a that they were not seizures.
Our family are aware. Our family are aware of what happened. That's all I can really say in response to that, Melinda.
Yeah. Yeah, they are. They are aware. Sorry.
Lovable Rogue 2 says, pity she didn't drink the truth syrup more often.
She did actually she drank quite a lot, and she would drink in the afternoon as well. She would drink
my God. Oh my God.
Doors, and then had the cheek to tell people I was an alcoholic, honestly.
Yeah. Yeah. The amount of times that I would be, she'd ring me and say hi, and it would be on my day off. She had my schedule, so she knew, and it would be on my day off, and she would go, oh, and it would be 12:30 in the afternoon, and she'd say, oh, I'm just opening a beer. Do you fancy a chat? And I'm like, really? Well, I've got a coffee, but I'm happy to chat with you. And she would literally, then she'd get takeout, and she would drink pretty much all night. And I worried about that because, of course, she's got a brain tumor. She's having chemotherapy and radiotherapy. And I was saying to her, should you be drinking?
Well, wouldn't she be on medication for that stuff? Would drinking be?
Well, yeah.
Well, that was my question. I was asking her about it because I was a little worried. Like you do with a friend who you think might be drinking too much alcohol. You go,
right.
Are you all right? Because I'm a bit worried about the drinking. I know you'll be on drugs. You're going through chemo and you're having radiation therapy. And is that okay? And she's like, oh yeah, it'll be fine.
Yeah.
So, because I had noticed the amount she was drinking, and as a friend does, I know it's not a comfortable conversation to have, but you would say, is it all right for you to be doing this? Are you feeling okay? Is there anything else wrong? But really, when she's got a brain tumor, I'm not questioning if there's something wrong, because I know that there is.
Right.
All I was concerned about was that it was going to clash with our medication and spoil any, the effectiveness of our treatment to shrink the tumor. So that's what I was questioning her about it for, and I was saying, as long as you're all right, but I did check. So, and of course that was twisted and told to somebody else a whole different way.
But do you know what was really weird? I haven't said this to you. When she was here, because I had my slip disc.
Yes.
Remember, I had my slip disc, and I was given amitriptyline, and I had all sorts of painkillers, naproxen.
Lots of yummy drugs, yes.
Yeah.
Painkillers,
when she came here, because I don't take them if I can help
it. I can testify to that.
Yeah,
I once saw her take one cocodamol and she was off her face. It was ridiculous.
I was correct. Yeah, I'm not good.
She doesn't do it. She doesn't take the painkillers.
But so I was saying, I've got all these. I was just talking about. It's like, oh, I've got a drug. I've got a pharmacy in my cupboard, and she was like, oh, have you got such and such? So I went, well, yeah, amitriptyline, I think it was. And I said, well, yeah, I've got loads of them because I don't take them. She went, oh, she said, oh, I might take some off you because I can only get them online. And I was thinking, why would you? Surely you've got, you would get everything you need from. You're obviously not very well. You should get. And she went, oh no, it's to do with living in America because she's American, which she isn't. Because she's American, she can't get the drugs so she has to buy all her drugs. Why do you have to buy all her drugs online?
Yeah,
But
she did that
again,
when
it's
she
like,
went to the US. She brought drugs back with her that she said she couldn't get here.
yeah.
So Mrs. Roger Rabbit wants to know, when did she develop the brain tumor? I hadn't heard that part because I think Mrs. Roger Rabbit kind of wasn't around on YouTube
Yeah,
as much
Evie
right
still
before.
that.
Well, I guess obviously before this dropped, but
Yeah, I only knew her with the brain tumor. I met her when she already had it.
I also think that the brain tumor was something that wasn't publicly out there, correct?
Yeah, it was only in the. I think that mention had been made publicly that she wasn't well.
Right.
That she needed prayers, but I don't think anything specific was ever mentioned.
No.
But it was told to us, as Evie correctly says, a few months after the death of our baby. I know that there was no baby, but it's actually easier just to tell it how it was told to us, because that's how you remember the sequence of events.
Right, right.
We've got to remember everything's a lie. We've got to remember
just pretty
it's
much
all a lie. There was no baby, no pregnancy, no husband, no nothing. So obviously then the next stage was a brain tumor because the baby had been done.
Yes, that's right, Melinda. That's right. That's what it was.
Yeah.
But we were all sat down on a Zoom call and told that she had this brain tumor in the name of the brain tumor, which is usually only present in children. It's very, very rare in adults. It does happen, but it's very rare. So I don't know if she made a bit of a boo-boo when she was choosing the name of her tumor, what kind it was, but never mind. And it was inoperable because it was too large, and our only chance was to try and get it down to operate on it. Other than that, it's terminal. And she had about 2 years max. Well, that was
Sleeping Lizard's here if you want to say hi.
Hi.
Mwah. I love that woman. I love that woman.
I know you do. I'm very glad she got to make it.
I love that woman. She's amazing. If anybody doesn't subscribe to our channel, doesn't know her, get to know her. She's fab.
Can I just ask whoever's here, if you haven't already subscribed to WhiteTiger,
you should.
Please do. Please.
Subscribe to this lady.
She's amazing. She's amazing. She's been so supportive and so wonderful. Such a lovely lady. So you have to, yes.
Oh my gosh, I don't know if I'd call myself a lady, but
well, what it is with you, Kim, is you have an abundance of common sense when it's not that common.
Yes.
You really do. Perfect. And you're always honest but diplomatic, and you always take a step back and think about things. I've never seen you rush to judgment. I've never seen you swoop in, like us mere mortals do. You always think things through, and a huge credit for that, because it's not an easy thing to do as a human being. All your instincts tell you to do one thing, but Kim was able to just basically go, right, I'm going to think about this for a bit. Let's weigh this up before I do anything. See the person next to me, she hears a lot of my crazy ramblings before I come to a sane conclusion.
I was going to say Maria's
we're each other's psychoanalyst.
Yeah.
Yes. And if you hear these two
not Marie, oh my god, it's Laurie.
She called you Maria again.
I know. My alter ego.
You know what it is.
That's a public service announcement, as Maria will probably listen to this later. Maria, evidently Lisa misses you so much she keeps calling Lori you.
Oh, Lori, you know what? It's because of the M&M, and it's in my head now.
I know.
Ow.
Here's one of the M's. Can you see the M here?
The M&M is for her dogs.
Oh,
Misty and Max.
No, okay.
This one's Misty. Here, see her?
I can do that now.
And Max was here earlier.
Do you see? Do you see mine? See how mine is sleeping over here? Do you see him?
Yes, I do.
He's curled up in the wrong corner of his bed, but
he's
behaving so well. Nope, that's Lemon. Sky is with my husband at the property right now.
Okay.
Awesome, lovable Rogue is just sub to WhiteTiger and
Thank you.
Thank you.
So, really, it's just it's been bonkers. Is there anything else that you wanted to say, Lisa? That you?
I don't know. I'd like, if anybody's got a question, I'm quite happy to take questions about it. It's so deep. I mean, the whole thing is so deep that it's very difficult to go over everything without ranting and without. There's just so much involved and intricate, and how she did it and what she did. It literally is. Somebody said to me, I was talking to somebody about it, and they said it is a Netflix documentary. It's one of those ones where you're watching it and you're going, no, this is not real. This would never happen. And it has.
I remember her telling us how much she enjoyed the Netflix show You. You know, the one about the psycho stalker. And I was thinking it's rather good. It's funny in a dark way, but I was thinking she was just watching it to pick up tips.
It's literally, I literally felt in the time that when I realized what had happened, and I was in this kind of bubble of like, what the hell do I do? What do I do? Who do I talk to? And that's when I reached out to Sean, and said, Sean, like, I emailed her and said, look, I'm really concerned, because I knew that she was friends with Jay and they'd separated, and she was apart from Kaz, was the only person I could think of to talk to. And then we chatted, and that's when it all came out. And we went on a big Zoom with everybody, and that's when it all kind of erupted. But I'm so glad that I did, because if I hadn't, it would still be going on. It would still be happening. People would still be having the wool pulled over their eyes. So I'm so glad. And I wouldn't have I wouldn't have been talking to Kaz like I am. And it's just, my whole, and it's, and I actually still jump at stuff because she knows where I live. I don't know anything about this woman, really. I don't know how dangerous she is. I don't know anything about her background. So I still jump at stuff. And it's ridiculous, really. It's silly, but she only lives.
Yeah, I had a stinking nightmare last night.
Yeah, and I do.
We were talking about something last week, and I had a really stinking nightmare. It was horrible. And I'm thinking, oh, there it is. I was wondering when it would, like, you know.
It traumatizes you. It does, because I've never been in this situation. I know you, Kaz, have never been in this situation. I've never been here, so I don't know how to deal with it. I don't know how to cope with it. Where's the coping mechanism for something that you've never dealt with before? So I do. I know she knows where I live. She's been here. She's stayed here. She's been around. She knows where I am, and anything can happen. I'll hear a bang. I wake up in the middle of the night because I can hear something downstairs, and it's just ridiculous. I know it's ridiculous.
Nightmares as well. It's just in such a terrible way. And you know, you do, because you don't know her. You think, who is she? You know, you don't know what.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I'm glad it was done. I just wish, my main regret is that I did not talk to Kaz when I wanted to and when I should have done. It might have been a little different. But I should have done. And I regret, that is one of my main regrets, is that I had the opportunity to do that and I didn't. And I feel terrible for that. I do. I wish I had. It's funny, hindsight's a wonderful thing.
It's always 2020. You know what?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter now. It doesn't matter now.
Yeah, no sense in beating yourself up over it. I mean, you know, my gosh.
I still do. And Kaz,
I believe that you do, but
stop it. I understand why she's sorry, and I understand why she feels bad. I feel bad too. I said things when I was annoyed. You know, I have done things for people that I probably shouldn't have done because I've been convinced they're a wonderful person and stuff like that. Not terrible things, but, you know, things that I think don't sit right with us morally. So, you know, everybody's been sort of misled one way or the other. And if we hang on to that guilt forever, that's just allowing those people to continue what they've done to us. So we need to try and shake it off.
Yes, Lou, yes, I was. I went to her house when she said that she was pregnant and was having an abortion. I went to her house to support her, and that was weird as well. You see, this was another red flag, was that I left the house. I left my house to get to hers because she said that her abortion was at 9 o'clock. So I left the house at 4:30 in the morning to get to her so that I could be there to support her. It took me about 5 hours to get there, and I rang her when I was about half an hour away. And I said, so I'm here, but do you want me to come to the hospital or come to? And she went, oh no, I'm walking home. And I went, oh, okay, so you're walking back from the hospital after you've had the abortion. She went, oh yeah. She said, I'll be home in. She said, where are you? How long are you going to be? And I said, oh, about half an hour. And she went, oh yeah, I'll be home by then. And I was like, well, hang on. I said, so your abortion was supposed to be like now. So what happened? She went, oh, it was put forward. Put back. She said it was at 7:30 instead of 9. And I went, oh, okay, all right, that's fine. That can happen. That's okay. And so got to her house and she was at home. Fine, no problem. She said she had tummy ache and everything, but she ended up literally within about 2 hours drinking. She had beer. We got lunch in for her. We got dinner in for her. She carried on drinking right the way through. But all of it, I mean, there was I could not tell you the red flags that were going on, but at the same time, I was thinking, well, how can I not believe her? Why would I not believe her? This is the terrible thing. She's getting rid of a baby. This is awful. I can't pull her up on something like that. That's terrible. What kind of person would it make me for me to go, are you sure you've had an abortion? How could I do that?
Yeah, I mean, there are certainly some things that she said that would be hard to question because, I mean, somebody tells you they have a brain tumor, are you gonna go, are you sure you have a brain tumor?
Well, exactly. And I can't turn around and say, are you sure you've had an abortion? Are you sure that you've come back from the hospital?
Mrs. Roger Rabbit, leave it to her to point this out. After losing 16, she aborts 1.
Well, actually, it was 17, and then she aborts 1. Technically, and Melinda's saying that didn't she lose the baby? This is a different baby, sad soul. This is after
no, but she did. She told other people that she'd miscarried the one she told me she'd aborted. She told other people she'd miscarried. So again, there were different stories going on because she was telling people that might be a little judgmental about her having an abortion. She told them she'd lost the baby. But because she knew I wouldn't judge her on it, because that's not me, she told me that she'd aborted the baby. So whether or not she thought that would hit a different nerve with me, I don't know. But again, there were different stories going on depending on who she was telling. But yeah, she lost lots of babies along the way, as well as this one. Yeah.
I guess she's definitely not pro-life. I'm sorry, that's a really bad joke, but
I feel like I'm going to hell for laughing at that. I don't believe in hell. I still feel like
I am pro-life, so I don't know why that came to me, but
I'm pro-choice.
One of the things that and we're a good example of how you can have differences of opinion and still be good friends.
Precisely.
So, one of the things I have to wonder, and as more things come out about how she did tell people different stories, and she was taking risks like drinking a lot, and seeing people and people knowing where she lived, and I almost wonder if she was challenging herself to see how complicated she could make it before she got caught.
Yeah, that's
I think
exactly
so.
what
We've
she
had this discussion, haven't we, Lisa?
Yeah, we
I
have.
think she wanted to see what she could get away with. It's with the seizures with Lisa. She knows Lisa is trained in these things.
Right.
Yeah,
And
I've
yet
seen
was
lots of
faking
seizures.
seizures in front of her, and she must have thought she was so clever.
Well, I wonder, Lisa, I thought I heard you say before that you knew that she wasn't having a seizure. Was she telling you it was a seizure? Did you, or did she just not say anything? She just thought you would assume it was a seizure.
I think she was pushing to see if she could pull the wool over my eyes. And I kind of let her think that. I did. I kind of let her think that. But there are lots of reasons why people fake seizures.
Right.
And it could be, there are mental health issues, there are attention-seeking behavior because of other issues that you have. So it could have been anything. So I didn't want to it could have been another reason kind of underlying that made
with
her
the whole
feel
brain tumor and all her other issues that you thought it could be
So
happening because of that.
it could have been underlying issues, attention seeking, kind of. I don't know. But I didn't feel like it was my place to call her out, as it were. But it was very obvious that they were not real. Very obvious. But again, you see, I feel so stupid saying it, but I still didn't want to call her out because okay, she still could.
She'd had all these horrible things happen to her, right? And
yeah, and she still could have a brain tumor and just be wanting somebody, wanting attention and wanting. I don't know. She could have had everything happen, all the issues. She had her family annihilated. Well, she didn't, but she told me all of her family were annihilated.
and that would certainly give you some sort of mental health issue.
Exactly.
Right.
So who am I to turn
Melinda
around?
wants to know how the hell does she fund all of it?
Well, that's the thing. We that's something we're still kind of working on, isn't it, Kaz? We're not entirely sure.
We've had the question partially answered, but not entirely answered.
Yeah.
But to be honest,
but the one thing you do know, right? She doesn't have a job. Is that correct?
She does not. No.
We were her job.
Yeah, we
were. Well, that's why she had so much time to take up all your time.
Yes. We were her. She literally spent. If she had put as much effort into anything else, she'd excel or whatever she was.
She could have already gotten her doctorate that she acted like she had if she'd put all that into that.
She's a bright girl.
She was very smart.
She has to be. She has to be to do this. I mean,
very, very smart. We have
just the powers of memory alone, just to have the odd slip up on a lie rather than constant slip ups. Just the power of our memory alone would have been enough to take her through a PhD.
Sad Soul says, who knows how many people she's lying to and getting money. That's true. You don't know if there are still past people that are funding her or, simultaneous people that are funding her. And surely she's got people on the hook at this point because she's got to continue to live.
And also she's lost. It was getting to the point with me where I have a feeling she was about to want to move down here and move in. Or at least get some money, because she started telling me that she literally just before it all finished, she said she'd lost her job because of her health. She hadn't lost her job, she'd given up her job because of her health issues. She couldn't cope with it anymore. So she was worried about paying her rent. She was worried about where she'd live. She didn't know if she'd lose her home. She knew we had a room here, a spare room, which she loved. So that would have been there for her if she needed it. She knew that.
Would you have actually thought, though, that she was hurting for money based on the fact that you thought she was this professor and,
Well, that was another thing. I talked to Kaz about this as well, didn't I? She told me how much she earned. She told me.
Oh, okay.
But I kind of queried that as well, because
the training that she said she has and the role that she said she had.
She wasn't making enough?
No, she wasn't.
Okay.
She had been making at least 3 times the amount she claimed to be making.
Yeah.
By my
because I earn more than she was saying she earned, and I was like, really? I said, you're like this, like professor, you lecture, you're in the, and also you get a subsidy when you're in the middle of London. You get a subsidy. It's like a I don't know if it's the same as New York.
Just a higher cost of living payment.
Yeah,
you
get a high. So
because it's more expensive.
Whatever you get is like 25% more than anywhere else in the country. And yet she was
So
still
the wages are higher because, yeah, it's like that here.
Yeah.
Like wages are different because of your cost of living being different, right? Okay.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, but I was earning, and I live in the southwest of England, which is like nowhere. It's nothing like London or a big city. And I was earning more than she told me she was earning, and I was like, "How am I earning? How is that right? How am I earning? Surely you should be." And then she was like, you could see that she was like, "Oh, okay. Well, yeah, no, but I've lost a lot of work because of COVID, and I'm not getting. I'm having to do other things, and I'm kind of." Oh, she said she worked for the NSPCC. Did she tell you that, Kaz?
No, she told me she was a researcher.
What is the NSPCC?
Okay, that's the National Society for the Protection of Cruelty to Children. She said that she was actually working for them and dealing with child abuse and looking at videos of all these things.
Oh, yes, she did. She told me she had written a report about the effects of the isolation from COVID on children and how they were at higher risk.
Right,
I remember now. Yes, she did.
All lies. All lies.
Man, she can really make up some stories, can't she?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, I forgot about that. That's another
one. I had obviously, because it was like, yeah, of course it was. Yes.
Oh my God. It's mind blowing, literally. So I've got to write it all down because the whole thing.
All of the fibs that she told all made her look like a wonderful person. That she was working towards the greater good.
Yes, she said, "Oh my God, I remember her sitting there and she was going, oh, I've watched some terrible videos of abuse of children and like category 1 child abuse videos." And I'm like, "Oh my God, you poor thing. That's her. Oh my God, how I couldn't do it. How do you do that? That's just horrendous." She never did. It was all, why say, why? I don't know. I don't think get it.
Likes to see, she likes to push the button and see what the thing does in response. Because I think that's what people are to her. They're just things. So she's like, "Oh, well, I'll do this and I'll see what happens. Or I'll do this because this is the response that I'm looking for." Because sometimes she would come up with several different ways to achieve the same end. And if one didn't work, she would try another one.
Yeah.
The membership, Lisa. Lisa used to be a member on my channel. Now, I've made very clear I'm not bothered about the financial part of that. But if somebody leaves as a member and they don't say anything, it worries us because I think have I upset them? Is there something bad that I've done? That's all I'm worried about. I'm not worried about anything else. So Lisa had left, Jade left, and told me that our debit card had run out and she would put it back on. I was like, I'm not bothered. Thank you for letting us know. Yeah. And then Lisa had left, and of course Lisa had said nothing about it. And Lisa had said she hadn't felt comfortable about leaving the membership.
No, I didn't.
Like, why do I not want to support our channel? And Jay turned around to Lisa and said, "Well, you know she's drinking. Think of how many bottles of wine that membership money is buying. You're just enabling her."
Yeah.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah. And she did.
She'd done it.
But even then, I was saying, I don't feel comfortable. She's like, "Just do it now. Just do it now. It's the end of just tell her. The same as me. Just tell her that your debit card has run out." Her debit card had never run out.
See, that's the her ego boost because she gained that much control to be able to get Lisa to leave your membership.
And it's not the membership that bothers us; it's the fact that.
But I want to tell you, Lisa, I made up for that because I joined her after you left.
I take it
she finally got the button and I was able to click it. And not only that, but my friend did too.
Really?
Yeah.
You know what?
Well, okay, so technically I didn't yet because it was a bad week. I was going to do it this weekend.
You don't need to. It's nice, but it's not necessary, but it's nice. because now that there were people on my membership that I didn't really feel comfortable posting things, but now that they're gone, I can now start using my membership function for my private videos again, which means that you guys will basically just see a lot of cats. Sorry, that's
okay. That's okay.
I don't think I can do membership. I don't think I can do it.
You can.
Mandy Hall says using membership money to buy wine.
That's what I did with the membership money. Yeah.
No, I wasn't a member. No, she said I didn't realise. Put that last one up, Kim, that you just put up. No, it wasn't. No, it was before. It was Patreon. It wasn't membership. It was Patreon. It was before you had members, wasn't it?
No, if you were a Patreon, but I closed my Patreon down, which meant that all my Patreons were refunded.
So YouTube membership, yes, the creator would be able to see that. The creator would be able to see any transaction that was revoked, like people giving super chats and taking them back and things like that. Because I've heard of some people that
yes,
do that to get their stuff up there. But
yes,
yes, because that exchange involves money, and so YouTube itself has to keep very strict track of that. So they have to associate that with the YouTuber that it belongs to, and so they have to. Yeah, there's absolutely the YouTuber would know if you're taking your membership away, not subscribing and unsubscribing. If you have that privatized, they won't see that. But when you actually have to pay money, they will see that. Does anybody else need a restroom break?
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
Can I just say, do you know you've got
25
in here?
That's because everybody was anxious to hear your story, Lisa.
Right.
All right, so let's take a 2-minute break.
Is that okay?
Yep, I need to. That's why I wanted to call it a half hour ago, but I really got to go now.
Yeah.
So everybody in the chat can take a 2-minute break. We'll be back within 2 minutes. We're gonna mute and we'll be right back.
How do I mute? How do I do that?
I can mute you if you want me to. Yes.
Please.
All right. Let's see. Put the video back on. Unmute Lisa. Lisa, you're unmuted.
Thanks.
You're welcome. Okay. So while everybody is on break, I want to remind everybody that we have a Discord. It's the best way to get a hold of me for anything. Suggestion.
I'm sorry, I've just seen Kaz's.
I know. Oh, you didn't see it before we left.
Oh goodness. Oh, it's amazing.
Oh, that's funny. Okay. You know, she's always good for a laugh. Anyway, so look what I have. I have a new little thing here. I'll show you. Lisa, you haven't seen it yet.
No.
Now we'll be muted, so we won't even be able to hear each other. But watch this. Did you see it?
I did. That's very good. Did you do that yourself?
No, I wish. I wish I had time to do that.
Very good.
But nothing a little cold hard cash doesn't get you.
You bought that.
Yes.
How much was
Yes.
that?
All said and done, it was like $17 and something.
Oh, that's not bad. That's not bad.
I'm not extremely happy with the fact that I sent a transparent logo, and that's not what I ended up getting back, but that's okay. You know, you get what you pay for sometimes.
Yeah.
And
No,
it
that's not
took I don't have time to mess with that right now, so
bad. No.
I was fine with that. Anyway, so we have a Discord. You can find the link to the Discord by either typing !Discord in the chat. Nightbot throws it out there every so often, I do believe. And it's also on the About tab of the page. We do share some goofy things in there sometimes. I share my diamond painting pictures. People can share their videos, their lives. I try to share the lives in there because, you know, you don't always get notifications. Also, please hit the thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. We're going for new goals this year. New goals.
I haven't liked you yet. I should probably like you. Oh, there we go. There's another
Lisa, you were supposed to like me a long time ago.
I did.
I left Discord. I don't know how to use it. Okay, I'm gonna make a video. Maybe I'll do a short live that's only the Discord, so that there's a video out there just for doing the Discord. I did do a how-to, but I think it got buried in a longer live. But I absolutely will do, because Lisa has problems with Discord, even though I've given her personal tutorials.
Everything.
Well, okay, I will say in your defense, at least when I gave Eminem Mama her tutorial, we were sitting at work together, so I can't really do that with you because you're a whole ocean and a half a continent away.
Yeah, you've tried really hard with me though, haven't you? You know this. You've spent a long time.
So Discord does not have to run in the background. You don't have to have it run all the time on the computer. 1 and 2, on the phone. But it's a place where you can text, you can do voice chat, you can share links, all the things that you kind of can't do through the YouTube chat, you can do on Discord. And the reason why it's Discord is because, as most of you know, I game. And a lot of gamers use it because it is the most secure platform for that. There are plenty of other platforms, but that is actually the most secure platform. And leave it to gamers to know that that's what it is.
Yes.
You couldn't get it to stop, Mrs. Roger Rabbit. I think you just had problems with it.
Oh,
all you do is tell it not to start up. I know Windows is really weird, and Windows likes to start up all of your programs that you have installed, like the Windows 10, is that the new one? All the time, and so you know if you go and turn it off for them to start up.
I'm amazed that you never lost your temper with me. The amount of times you've tried to walk me through stuff, and I'm like, what? No, this is not. Seriously,
for those in the audience who don't know, Lisa is immense fun to give tech support to.
Do you remember, Lisa? Okay, she was having some kind of problems with StreamYard on her laptop. Oh wait, because I don't know if Kaz heard this story, but she was having immense problems with StreamYard, and she's like, okay, can we just call and you just walk me through it? Okay. So she's on her phone and I'm on my phone, and I'm like, okay, I need to see what it says on your computer. And here's what I get. She's got her phone and she's like to her computer screen so I can see what it says. And I'm like, well, if you could get into StreamYard, we could just do a share screen and it would work so much better. But she couldn't. I spent over an hour trying to do that. Yeah.
I am hopeless. Absolutely amazing. Thank you, guys.
Well, when you like people, when you love people, you do things for them to help out.
Yeah, I really am surprised. Both of you, both Kim and Kaz. Seriously, how you didn't. In fact, I think Kaz got quite close once. I could hear the temperature rising.
Okay, so now Sad Soul obviously didn't know I was a gamer. So World of Warcraft has been my game of choice, but I'm kind of taking a break from it right now. Diamond painting has kind of overtaken my spare time at the moment. I will probably play some more World of Warcraft, but I'm thinking about getting back into Diablo because I can do that in smaller chunks of time, and I don't feel so overwhelmed with all the things that there are to do. So we'll see, but usually it's Blizzard games that I play. I'm thinking about, I've really wanted to do, and I think because of the channel, I might go ahead and do it. Before there was World of Warcraft, there was Warcraft 1 and Warcraft 2, and then Warcraft 2 BattleNet Edition, and then Warcraft 2 Tides of Darkness, and they kind of did little expansions with it. And I really enjoyed playing those games. And they definitely look old now compared to the graphics now, but you can actually go back and buy refurbished versions of them that work on the new Windows. And I might do that because I think it might be a little fun. And it's something I could play while I'm talking and let them, because like the little guys, you have to go and collect the gold so you can build your stuff, and you got to wait for them to get done. And so probably a little more conducive to being able to talk to chat while you do that, as opposed to World of Warcraft. I kind of get zoned in and it's hard to see the chat.
Yeah, when you get involved in a game, it's hard to game and watch chat. Because I was playing Spyro once, and it's a nightmare because I just kept headbutting the wall. So trying to read the chat at the same time.
Now, when Wyo was playing with me, it was a lot more fun because I could get him on, and then we were playing together, and everybody could hear us bantering back and forth, and in the game, and that was a little different. But he's also not playing. He's a trader. He went to a console game he's been playing, and yeah.
Laurie.
My boyfriend plays Diablo. Yes.
Laurie.
Oh, Laurie. Laurie, she got your name right.
Yes, I know. I'm impressed.
I know. Do you play?
Hello.
Games? Do you play
No.
Games? No, me neither.
She likes watching me play it, though.
I colour in.
I do.
I colour. I colour.
She's like you, though. She likes watching me play it.
Okay. Yeah, I do like doing that. And your Jeep trip, that was amazing. I liked that.
Yeah, there will definitely be more of the Jeep stuff going on.
Yeah.
So
maybe we could do that one that we're doing together.
Yeah, Lori and I are going on a Jeep parade for a 5-year-old girl. Girl's turning 5 years old. We're going to go together on that Jeep parade with a couple of the Jeep groups.
That's lovely. Just to see where you live, and that was beautiful as well because it was all like snowy and in places. Mm-hmm. It was lovely. Yeah, that was really nice. So yeah, I enjoyed that. That was good.
Somebody sounds like you, Lisa. Lou High says, if I don't chat anymore, I'm sleeping. Carry on, ladies, but please don't wake me up.
Is it carry on or is it the sleep?
No, it's the carry on because you're always on. You get on my channel and then you go,
carry on.
I got to go take a wee. Carry on, though. Carry on. I'm like, this is my channel. I'll carry on.
I don't know why I say that.
I do because you're just adorable. That's why. Okay, so now that we've kind of had our intermission and our break and everything, is anybody in the chat have any more questions? Or Lisa, do you have any more things that you feel you need to get off your chest? Or Kaz, or anybody in the chat that has anything that they want to come up and say because they had some kind of interaction in this?
I think, Kaz, you should say something. I've kind of just like taken the stage, and it's not all about me.
I kind of said everything that I wanted to say in the video up on my channel. My mind has not changed. I feel the same. I said my bit. I shared how I felt about things, and that was kind of the end of it for me. I did have the advantage of I've come out of this with quite a positive mindset, and I know that sounds crazy in hindsight, but things happen and they're horrible, but then you see the truth. And because you see the truth, it gives you a kind of clarity. And things don't seem the same.
Is that not working?
People and situations don't seem the same, but at least you know the truth now. And I think it makes it helped me because I was pushed to rock bottom. I got stronger from that. And then when this all came about, I was strong enough to say, right, this is what's happened to us. This is the situation. This is what I've found out. This is my decision, and go ahead with that. And nothing's really changed. That's my mindset, and I have moved on. I have moved on. And that's pretty much it.
Because, I mean, we have talked about this, and I know I've said this before, and I don't know if anybody else has heard this, but she could have killed Kaz. That was pretty much the aim. From what I can tell, she was manipulating everything around Kaz's mental health, and I think she could actually easily have done that if Kaz wasn't as strong as she is. I honestly believe that. I do, because
I would never have normally thought that. I would have just thought she was cruel. She just wanted me out of the way. But it was the fact that she was telling people that I was threatening to do it all the time.
Yeah.
When that wasn't
right.
And it would be, I told you so. I told you so. Yeah.
It's almost like she was wishing it to happen.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. Which is takes it to another level. It really does.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
That was the kind. And I do think why me in particular, what did I do that was so special? But to be honest, it wasn't just me. It's been other people as well that she's done things too. She would have gone down similar routes with if they hadn't just kind of been isolated without any questions asked, because unfortunately that's what happened to people in our past. But she's also done it with people in real life as well, where she's isolated them and told lies about them. And I think with me, it was particular fun for her to see what impact she could have.
Right.
And I was a little toy for a while, and it worked to a certain extent. And then I just thought, F it, because I don't want to swear on Kim's channel.
It's okay. It's okay.
I pulled myself up off the floor, and I got my shit together, and here I am now. And it wasn't easy. It's been horrible. But it's not horrible now because I can see. I know what happened. I know how it happened. I know who's there and who's not. Like how to be careful to guard my heart and stop it from happening again. But without
you can't help that. You can't help that now. And that's what upsets me the most, is that I've changed as a person. And I said this when I was talking to you about it, Kaz. I feel I've changed as a person because I always, why would I not believe what someone says? Why would I not? If somebody tells me something, why would I not think it's true?
The issue is with it, you expect yourself from other people. And because you expect who you are from other people, you expect people to have the same morals and values and behaviours as you. Like Kim was saying before, would nobody have checked on the people to see if they're okay? So that's the kind of thing I would do. You would do it if you go and check on people, and things like that. But people aren't the same as you.
But do you not see that's why she chose us? Because she knew that we would just, just believe her. Because why would we not? Why would you lie about having a baby that died? Why would you lie about having a died. Why would you lie about a bereavement?
Why would you lie?
Why would you lie about your whole family being
Especially for
killed?
me,
Why
it's
would
like
you?
I can't lie because my memory is absolutely pants. I said this to Kim the other night. I cannot lie because I'm rubbish. Like I can't. I just
That's it.
I don't know how she kept like hold of all the stuff that she did, especially drinking.
Yeah.
I don't like. I'll tell people my deepest, darkest secrets when I've had a drink. I mean, they're not
Yep,
that bad.
yep.
They're not as bad as I think they are, but you know, it's like you just tell people everything because it doesn't
Yes,
matter.
and I've
What
always
do
been
you
like
have to
that.
hide? Why would you
always
hide
been
things?
like that. For
Like,
the
you are
27
doing it
years of my life, I've always been like that.
Yeah.
What are you laughing at?
We all saw the wink. We all saw the wink.
Everything that you do leads you to where you are now. And if I've done rotten things in the past, but I admit to them. I've always been open about my mental health issues. I've always been so when I'm so damned candid, I think that was the issue that I had with people believing things.
Yeah.
Because I am so honest about stuff.
Right.
And it just, yeah. Well, yeah.
Not a bad thing.
Do you know
Janelle
what it is?
said,
I don't have any resentment for her either. She's got
Right.
her own reasons for doing what she did. What she did was horrible. What she did to everybody was horrible. But I don't even have any resentment towards her. I'm not.
No, me neither. Do you know what? When I went on my little break just now on my
bathroom break.
I was thinking
about your nose.
I was thinking about this, and do you know what? I miss, and I thought, do I say this? Do I say this or not? Because I don't know, but I'm going to say it. I miss Genevieve. Genevieve, now I know, is just the person that she made to me. But I miss that. How can you not, when you spent so much time, literally days and weeks and months going on holiday, having them stay. I miss Genevieve, but actually that Genevieve was just a made up person.
Yeah, just a made up character.
And that's what I miss. I really do. I miss
You miss
her.
the person that you thought she was. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. And it sounds ridiculous. I'm saying all these things and I'm saying what she did.
It doesn't sound ridiculous. It doesn't.
I know, but I don't know whether to say it or not, but I think I should. Because actually, that person that she manufactured, that fantasy person that doesn't exist, I really liked. I really did like.
Right.
Of course you did. Because
well, and that's the sad thing. You know, she said she couldn't make friends, but then she had all these friends.
Yes,
with this fake persona that she made. So obviously somewhere in there is a likable person. The problem is the issues that she has that causes all of this lying and treacherousness. I mean, it's one thing to lie, but then to lie upon lie upon lie upon lie, and then not only that, then you're actually trying to be hurtful to people.
Yeah.
Like in Kaz's case, and how many other people has she tried to cause harm to? That takes it to a whole nother level.
It does. But then I've also thought about it from the point of view that isn't it sad that someone hates themselves that much that they need to create a whole new different person? Is that not sad to you, do you think? That they hate.
Well, I guess to me,
not to be pitied. It's not to be pitied.
Okay, so here's
my thoughts. I'm just giving my thoughts out.
Right,
here.
and here's my thoughts, because I mean, obviously, we've all had a long time to try to soak this in, and sometimes it's easier looking from the outside in, but I think it's one thing that she thought if she was just making up lies because she couldn't make friends, and then she made friends, right? If that was really the ultimate goal, once she made the friends, she really didn't need the lies anymore. So she could have stopped making more lies at that point.
Yes.
Yes.
But she didn't.
Okay. She didn't. the lies just kept compounding on top of each other. And not only that, then the deviousness got worse and worse and worse. So to me, it takes it from just somebody who's lying because, I mean, it's one thing if you embellish a story to make yourself look better to a friend. I mean, you know, people do that all the time, right? It's not exactly the truth, but it's not exactly a lie. You're trying to make yourself look better.
Yeah.
Because most people don't want to tell, you know, embarrassing things about themselves. But okay, I can tell this person this story if I twist it in this way because it makes me look better.
Yeah.
And they're not going to, you know, think something bad of me. So
it's funny.
it went from that. It went from that to, okay, now I have this whole circle of people. And you know you have this whole circle of people because, okay, you've lost a husband and you've lost a child in a very short time span, and all of these people, maybe not intricately involved in your life, but you had a whole group of people that came together and said, you know, after she lost her husband and then was supposed to have this baby, everybody felt bad for her because she was going to be taking this on in a grieving process for her husband. And so people were like, okay, here, let's do this for you, and gave her all kinds of gifts, right, for the baby. She knew she didn't have a baby, right? She knew she didn't have a baby. Now, at that point, when she had that outpouring from the public, she could have said, okay, after this baby dies, because I know I have to make this baby die because this baby doesn't exist.
Yeah.
I have all these people. The baby's going to die. Everybody's going to be very sympathetic, and I can cut this off now because now I have all these people, right? I have all these people that will pray for me, that will help me, that will talk to me, that, you know, I can, okay. So I have all these friends, so I can stop. No, she doesn't stop there. It just continues to go and go and go. And yes, I do think that there is mental health issues there, but I also think that it steps up to a different place along the line to where it's very criminal. And to me, I do understand that she has mental health issues, but she also needs to be held accountable for the criminal part of what has happened.
Yeah.
And I think that it makes it so much worse if she'd have just lied to get friends and then cut it off at some point. Okay, this is the last lie I need to tell because I have, 50 friends or whatever her goal was, right? I have that amount of friends.
That's what happened.
But then it kept going.
That's what happened. Sean, so basically Jay took things, she would basically take parts of everybody she knew's lives. So she would ask, I mean, she used to ask me so many questions, lots of questions about my life, about work, about all sorts of things, like question. And she was taking notes, and she would use, and there were different people that she would use different things from. Sean is actually the person that I spoke to that I initially, that was that helped me to get everything out there. She is a professor. She is a professor at London University. And she basically told her, because Sean found out before I did, and that's why she cut Jay off and said, and she turned around to her and said, right, I've got a list of people you need to tell that you've lied. You need to tell them. And I was one of them. Kaz was one of them. There were a lot of people that were on this list that she needed to say. And Sean really thought that she would do it. And she said, yes, I will. I'll tell everybody. Well, it turns out, after talking to Sean, that she was still lying to me. She was still lying. She told more lies in the deadline. I mean, she was given a deadline. You do it by this period, this time, or I'm telling everyone. But I think she probably knew, because Sean wanted to get in touch with me, but all she had was my first name. She didn't know, and I've got a very and it's very common.
Right.
It would be very difficult to find me just through my first and last name. So she had no way of finding me. So if I hadn't contacted her, she wouldn't have known all of these other people. She didn't have a clue who else to contact. So that was when we went through everyone and said, this is who we need to contact and let them know what's going on. But she gave Jay a deadline and said, do it. But it turns out she was still, and I caught her in a lie, a different lie, literally like 2 weeks after the deadline that Sean had set for her. But she was taking Sean's life. She was, there was one thing she told me. Do you know who Russell Brand is? Do you know who Russell Brand is?
Yeah, the actor.
Okay.
Mhm.
So Jay used to tell me that she had tutored Russell Brand, that she was his psychology tutor, and that she would talk about him and say what he was like, and she talked about him being in her office and coming and hugging her. So I was chatting to Sean and we were going over all the lies that had been told. And I said, she did tell me that she'd been tutored by, she tutored Russell Brand in his, and she went, that was me. She said, so Sean tutored Russell Brand in his, like, in whatever he was doing, whatever course he was doing. It was her, but she had obviously
taken that piece of her life, right?
Sean had told her all about it and she had used that for herself. So there are definitely going to be things that Kaz has said she will now use in the future with other people. Things I've said she'll use in the future with other people. Everyone, she will have notes on everyone and she will use them. It will not stop. It will not stop. There will be more. There will be others. And there have been right the way through. And it will continue. It will continue because that's who she is, unfortunately.
Right. Unless she gets put away somewhere.
It will still. I think it will still continue even after that. That's who she is. That's what she does.
If she does get put away, she'll be very difficult to treat because she will lie to her healthcare team.
Yeah.
Right.
And she's got a lot of knowledge about psychology because she
obviously
to blag it. So
right.
It's just going to be very difficult to treat.
She told me that she was talking to Chris Watts, that she had something like 200 hours or a few hundred hours of time, and she was ringing him in prison, and I was Googling stuff trying to find out who he was talking to, and I was thinking, okay, but then at the same time she was saying she was talking to Sandra Rushek, and I was thinking, how can you, surely there's a problem there that she's talking to Chris Watts in prison and she's also talking to Sandra Rushek. So, I mean, the red flags, I mean, more stuff is coming up all the time. I'm sorry.
Right,
but
right.
So much. There was so much that, I mean, Myra Hindley, she'd interviewed, Ian Brady, the Moors murders. I don't know if you've heard of them. Chris Watts. Who else did she say? There were loads of them, Kaz.
She's involved with the Karen Matthews case with Shannon Matthews.
Yeah.
There was a little girl who was
Ian
abducted, but she wasn't. It was like a fake kidnapping in the United Kingdom. The mother had arranged it with a family friend. And he had her hidden in his house, and they'd done it for publicity and for funds. And she said
there were American ones. She said she travelled all over the world interviewing criminals, people on death row, all sorts of people. And I'm trying to think of the American ones. Can you think of the American ones apart from Chris Watts? I mean, Chris Watts, obviously, because she knew.
The thing is, the American ones, it was difficult for her because there aren't that many recent ones, especially ones that haven't been sort of interviewed or fielded by John Douglas.
But Chris Watts
didn't like John Douglas. Didn't like John Douglas, the profiler.
But she found Kaz and I through Chris Watts. So of course, we're going to be interested because we both did stuff on. That's how she found us. So why would she not?
To everybody, didn't she? Yeah. But it was a huge secret. You couldn't tell anybody. She was only telling you.
Oh my God! Yes.
She knew. And she was actually telling everybody. She was just telling everybody who couldn't tell each other.
I thought I was the only one that knew. I thought I was the only one that knew. Don't tell anyone. It's a complete secret. Nobody should know this. Turns out everybody knew. She was telling everybody the same thing. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, don't tell anybody, but I'm going to go around and tell everybody, and everybody's going to know that's something I'm telling you. You're the only person that knows.
But she used to do that a lot, though. She would go, don't tell I can't mention names, but the other people in like the friendship group, don't tell them. Why? Well, because I'm just not ready to tell them yet.
Yeah.
Do you think that some of that, though, was trying to see how much she could trust you?
Possibly.
I think it was just pushing boundaries. I honestly do. I think it was pushing boundaries. I think she probably believed, because I think she chose us because she saw us as trustworthy. She thought, we're not going to say. That's why we were chosen. We were chosen for that reason. So I don't think for a second she thought that we would, and we didn't, did we? That's the whole point. That's the whole thing. We didn't.
She was very good at picking the chosen ones, evidently.
Yeah.
I mean, thank goodness, though, Lisa, you caught on when you did, because you'd still be living in that right now.
Yeah.
Well, do you know what? I'm not sure, because I've got a feeling Kaz would have done by now. Actually, I've got a feeling Kaz would have done. If it hadn't been me, I have a feeling it might have been Kaz. I think you were at the point.
I didn't have much contact with her, and I knew she was up to something.
Yeah,
right.
so
there was a Facebook group, and there were two of us like that speak that were members of it. And when I left that Facebook group, suddenly Jabel started posting loads when she hadn't done previously.
Yeah.
And I thought, she's telling people she's frightened of me. They just
right. Intuition.
Things just click into place, because there was another incident where she said that the police had knocked at her door, because apparently somebody had reported her to the police for raising funds falsely. Yeah. Right, which as it happens is exactly what you did. But as far as I'm concerned, that was all legit. So why would I report her to the police for it? And all the time I'm there for her. We're both there for her all of the time when she phones and texts and she's going on Zoom. And she phoned me in tears, like absolutely past herself. You know, the police have been at my door. And then she set up the Zoom, and Lisa came into the call, and we were all talking about it. And it was like, we were trying to support her and say, well, can you find out who did it? Can we find out who did this to you? Because they would report it all this time later. Like, it was ages afterwards, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And I was saying to her, so did you find out anything about it? Because she was speaking to me on the phone the following week, and I said, have you found out anything about it? She went, it was somebody from the United Kingdom. And I thought, hang on.
But you know what she was telling me, Kim? Do you know what she was telling me?
What?
That it was Kaz.
That Kaz was calling the police, right?
Yeah. She told me that it was Kaz, and that it was somebody from the northeast of England. She knows that Kaz is in the northeast of England. And I said, that was another time, you know, I said there were times when I went, no. And I said that. I said, no, Kaz, Kaz.
Why is Evie getting around with posting links?
Do what?
It's telling Evie off for posting links. I don't even think Evie's in here.
Who's paying what?
Streamlabs.
I don't even have Streamlabs hooked up right now. I don't know what's going on with that.
Nightbot's on there.
No, this was Streamlabs.
Yeah, delete it.
I had to let the dog out is a link.
Yes, she's not
the dog out.
I had to let the dog out. Is that a link?
I don't even know. I'm going to have to look at Streamlabs because I don't even have Streamlabs hooked up.
She did say that.
She did nothing wrong. How dare you?
Oh, that's funny.
Okay. I don't know why Streamlabs is doing that, but I'll look up Streamlabs and. Oh my god! I haven't used Streamlabs in so long. I don't know how that would happen.
Tell it I will call the police on it if it doesn't. These are actually quite amusing in hindsight. They are, because I was getting accused of stalking her, and she was saying she was frightened I was going to break into her house. I can't be asked to walk around into the garden most of the time. Why would I travel all the way down there?
Do you know what she did as well? What she did? She actually, oh my god, this is awful. she took, you know, do you do in America? Do you do Street View? Do you have like a Google Street
Yes,
View?
yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So she took a video. It must have been herself. Took a video and did it along her street and kind of focused on her front door, and she sent me the video and went, "This is what Kaz has sent me. I think she's definitely stalking me. She's stalking me. Look, she's focusing on the front door. She's doing all this on the street." And you see, when I'm being drip fed all this stuff, and I didn't know. As far as I was concerned, she said that Kaz has sent her this thing of her being on her street and looking at her front door, focusing on her front door, and saying basically, "I know where you live," is what she was trying to say.
Right.
Doing.
But the thing is, right, there's a grain of truth, because this is what these people often do. They'll take a grain of truth, and what they'll do is they'll twist it. Because I'd said to her, I was looking to see where the travel lodge is, because she was saying come down and stay in the travel lodges, like in conjunction to the street, the train station, and the hotel that I was staying in, so I can plan my journey, so I know where the hell I'm going, right?
Yeah.
And her street is townhouses, so you couldn't tell which one was our front door anyway.
Yeah. You wouldn't know, because there was no, you wouldn't have done. You wouldn't have had a clue.
But I definitely didn't send her to show her front door, because I wouldn't have known which one was her front door.
That's what. So she must have taken that herself,
yes,
and then sent it to me, pretending that it came from you.
Yeah,
and
why would I look around to see where the hotel is? Because she was telling us where it is, and she was saying, "I says I'll have a look on Google Maps to see where it is," and I did.
That's what she needed.
That's what she's taken. She's taken that little.
Mm-hmm. That's why she needed CCTV. She thought you were going to break in and needed CCTV because you knew where she lived. She'd be gone. And I was still, I kept saying to her, there's why? What, for what reason would she break into your house when you're not there?
The extortion was my other favourite, that I was blackmailed. I blackmailed £5,000 out of her. By threatening to tell people where she lived.
Well, you certainly didn't spend it on your channel.
all went on alcohol.
Oh, that's a lot of drinking, Kaz.
I'm a big girl. You know.
Well, I am too, but I don't have to drink to get this big either.
I just like food. But that was the whole thing. That everything got twisted, and everything that I did was bad. And it's so. I am not a principally good person. I'm a good person because I work at being a good person. Nobody's really a good person. There's very few people who are good people by default. There's some people who have kind hearts, but and I've had years of experience of, I did shitty things when I was a teenager, not illegal things or anything like this that's been done to us. But you do things and you think, you drink underage, and you break the heart, and and you look back on your life and you think, yeah, I really hurt that person. But
we all have regrets, I think. Yeah.
You learn from it, and you think, I'll do that better. If it has to happen, I'll do it better. I'll do it differently. And that's, you get that little bit of guilt in your conscience that teaches you that you need to do that differently in the future. And so nobody's perfect, but I'm really not, and I will always admit that. But the person that I am is not the person she was describing. It's completely opposite, even just from practical points of view, like the fact that I've got generalized anxiety disorder. And what she was accusing us of that I might do is go to a place by myself in the dark of night,
Right.
That's why I was looking at Google Street View, because I was past myself that I had to make this journey on my own. So of course I want to plan it out, because I want to know where I'm going. I want to know once I'm at the hotel I'm going, because that's my base. That's all I wanted to find out.
Right.
And I keep doing that too. It's like,
I know, it's just like you do this a lot, because it's just like, I can't believe.
Yeah.
Like this.
I've done that so many times.
I can't believe it. But that's been fun for her, because look at the amount of manipulating she's been able to do, because she's spanned this tail. And obviously the more lies that were believed or appeared to be believed, the more she would press the point, and the more, like with that illness, the worse it would get.
Yeah.
Don't you think it's quite interesting though that she chose to do this in a true crime community, considering we're always trying to wrap our heads around how is it these people are acting this way, and it almost is like she was gathering information on how to do some of this stuff.
Mm-hmm. Well, the thing is, with the true crime community, I think the heart of the true crime community is drama aside, because drama is different.
Right.
And drama gets views, so people do drama, whatever. But the heart of the true crime community is that we can't believe something. We're afraid that this might happen to us. So the more we know about it, the more we learn about it,
Right.
the more prepared we are for anything bad to happen to us, to someone we love, things like that. And also the compassion for the victims is very strong. Like that victim advocacy portion of it, like you hate the murderer and you're terribly compassionate for the victim. And I think because most people are that way, it was a really good community to find marks in for her.
True. Because you're going to find the more compassionate people in there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Catherine Walling. Hello, that's a new name.
Hi, Catherine. But you know, the true crime community, they do sleuth, but there's most of them it's basically speculation. It's not really sleuthing, it's speculation, if we're honest, in true crime channels.
Right.
And that's fine. But it's mostly speculation, it's not actually sleuthing. And when it's not, you know, it's even the police would have difficulty fathoming her out.
Right.
So but yeah, I think that sense of compassion and unity, I think she really, you know, she was going to play the victim and get the compassion for the victim.
But it was the whole depth of it, using voice changes, pretending to be a dog walker, pretending to be a policeman, pretending to be a nurse, and
right.
basically ringing people and saying, oh, she's on death's door, you need to be there for her, and manipulating people through a voice changer, pretending to be all these different people.
I know that to me, when I heard that portion of it, that's
weird.
Is there actually a line she won't cross? I mean,
exactly.
You know, that's my question. Is there a line that she, you know, because everybody kind of has their line they won't cross. But I've never heard of anybody going to the lengths of having multiple phones and voice changers to right, so that she has different numbers calling in. And I don't know about your guys' cell phone bills over there, but ours are not that cheap.
That's what I was thinking.
Ours are quite cheap.
They're very cheap. You can get a £5 card, and you don't. It doesn't have to be registered. You can literally get a card for a £5. What's that, like $3?
But for somebody who doesn't work, that is kind of expensive.
$3. No, because she's getting money from somewhere.
We understand that she's getting money, but I mean, you know, in the scheme of things, you wouldn't think that somebody who's not working would be, you know, doing that. So Sally asked, were there any suspicions of the person who lied prior to the truth being revealed?
Yes, loads. Like red flags everywhere. My mum was like the first person that turned around and actually was honest with me and went, are you sure about this person? And at that point, I'd already had multiple red flags, and I was like, actually, no, what was that?
Evie.
Evie said it's sad. So I've drank a lot of tea today, so it was like Niagara Falls. That's what happened to me when I took our break, because I needed to go.
I don't know about you ladies, but as I'm getting older, I find I have to visit the ladies' room, because if you happen to sneeze,
right, it's all over.
or laugh.
Yes, absolutely.
Oh my God, really? Is it that bad?
Oh yeah.
It can be. It depends. It depends how desperate you are. It depends how desperate you are.
When,
But, you know,
when you wait a minute now, Lisa, you've seen me get going where I can't stop laughing. Now tell me that wouldn't make you go to the bathroom if you had to go.
I know it would, yeah.
Yeah.
I have got a very strong bladder though.
It was never ending like a tap running. LOL.
nobody was questioning the integrity of your bladder.
Sorry.
She goes too often. That's her problem. She's always going,
It's
you know
strong
what?
but
Now that
small.
you've just dialed up on my channel, can I please
How
go and have a
good have
wee?
How good have I been tonight though?
You've been really
been
good.
very good.
Wow.
You've been really good.
I have
I'm
been
impressed.
really
It's
Thank
strong
you.
but small. It's yes.
Evie said ASMR. LOL.
No.
I think we'll skip that ASMR.
You know what? I'd rather listen to somebody tinkling than I would listen to these tiny little women who eat this seafood. And I go,
Oh yes, no.
Oh yeah, I can't do any of that. Okay.
I've seen those.
This is one of my biggest pet peeves, and I cannot stand it. People, okay, so I don't know if you guys, I'll drink on stream, but if I have to eat, if I'm on somebody else's channel and I have to eat, but they don't want me to get off, I will like hide my picture and I will mute myself
do,
and I'll
yes.
unmute it just because I cannot stand listening to people eat, especially on these mics. It doesn't even matter how crappy your mic is. It picks it up and I can't stand it. It is like worse than nails on a chalkboard for me. And I'm sure there's a lot of people that
really
way.
bad for people who are on the autistic spectrum as well. It can be really triggering for them, like when you eat on and there's any
Right.
sort of crunch noise,
Right.
that can really set them off.
You've even done that on personal streams with me, Kim.
I know.
When we've been talking just you and I, you've gone, I'm just gonna turn this off for a second. I've got to eat. That's the thing. I don't care really. I'm just
Well,
Trickling Stream is our new song. It's out on Monday.
I see a TikTok coming on Kaz's channel very soon.
Very likely. Very likely.
okay. So what's
dear.
oh my God, we've still got 25 people in here. We haven't scared anyone away. That's incredible. Amazing.
I think Lisa was afraid I would scare her people away after she invited them over here.
I don't think so.
It certainly feels like old times, though, doesn't it? Isn't it great?
Like, I love this. I love this. This is amazing.
It does.
I love this. It's great.
See, that's why this is a positive, really.
Yes.
Having a bit of a feeling sometimes.
Yeah.
It's better now.
Yeah.
It's better now. We've got no evil undercurrent.
I actually looked forward. I've been at work all day. Obviously, I've had a long shift, but this is what kept me going. I was so looking forward to this and seeing you guys and
right.
And that's the thing with your own channel. That's something that you enjoyed, and you enjoyed going on your channel and chatting to the chat, and that was really evident that you enjoyed it. And hopefully, now that you've spoken out, you'll be able to do that again and enjoy it again, because it would be awful for that to be taken away from you. All right, if you don't want to do it, absolutely support you, whatever you choose, but it would be awful for you to have lost that because of this.
I agree. It was one of the reasons why I jumped on the opportunity when Lisa said, well, could I do it on your channel? That I said, yes, that's fine. Let's do this. And because I do understand, I mean, we've all been going through the whole COVID thing for the past year, just about a year now. And I know that everybody seems to be reassessing things, including myself, and being locked in your house and like working. There was a period of time where all we were doing was working from home, and now we're on this rotating thing. And the last thing that I want to do is sit here and try to prep for a stream, because I mean, people like to come to our streams, and I understand that, but I don't think they understand what goes on behind it. Now, I don't have to primp and I don't primp and everything like Lisa does and have to, give myself a pep talk. I don't have to do that kind of stuff. But it is draining. It is draining, just like your job during the day is. And if you're already drained from your job during the day emotionally or physically, you just want to go, oh, and even though like I might just be doing diamond painting. Yeah, I could stream diamond painting. I mean, I've done it before, stream diamond painting and have a conversation, but I haven't even felt like, doing that and having to pay attention to chat and, because
I absolutely relate to that 100% because
Yeah.
people know for the longest time I didn't put anything on.
right. I've had 2 breaks like that now. And one of the things that I'm realizing is in my reassessment of like what I want to do in general and then incorporating that into my YouTube channel is, I mean, yeah, I want to have fun. That's what I always wanted my channel to be. I want to have fun, whether it's I'm gaming or I'm out in my Jeep or whatever it is. I want to have fun and I want to share my fun with other people. And even true crime. I like true crime. And if I find a case that I want to talk about or something that I like to do, I'll do something and I'll put it up or I'll do a live and we'll talk about it. But at the end of the day, and I think this is part of what irritates me sometimes when I'm watching other people's lives and I see in their chats people telling them, you should do this or you should do this or I hate this. Okay, if you don't like what you're seeing on somebody's channel, there's a gazillion channels out there. Go find it out there somewhere. If you want drama, it's out there. If you want, fly fishing with no sound or music in the background, I'm sure that's out there. Everything is out there. And some of us, we just want to go on and enjoy the people that like to chit chat with us and have a good time and have a laugh or diamond paint or talk true crime or whatever it is. And, some of us are willing to put it out there, for everybody to watch. And a lot of people aren't. But I think that people expect too much from YouTubers and think, oh well, okay, I paid my membership. I mean, I'm a member of at 2 channels actually, but on one of the channels that I belong to, I pay $1.99 a month. I don't pay $1.99 a month to that channel because I want to be able to go, well, you know what, I give you money and you owe me. No, I pay that $1.99 a month because I enjoy not everything necessarily, but some things, and I watch that channel. And it's no different to me than going to the movie theater and paying your movie ticket. Okay. And sometimes you just want to show people support and that yes, you enjoy what they're doing or what they're putting out there. And I think that people need to kind of change their mindset a bit and realize that, I know there's trolls in gaming, there's trolls on YouTube. But beyond that we have to deal with, we also have to deal with, the expectations of the people in our chat. And I'm going, well, why are you doing, well, why are you doing your diamond painting that way? Or, I mean, anything goofy can, and if you're just done with your day at work, you don't want to mess with that.
No.
So I think that, to me, it was like, okay, allowing Lisa to have this platform in a safe place, because I know it can be safe because I will make it that way. Because to me, my channel is about, my friends can come up and talk and do what they want and have a good time. And other people are always more than welcome. But if they can't behave themselves, I mean, I can't stop them from watching, but they're not going to be able to make our time miserable. And I just, I was hoping that this would kind of launch you into feeling more comfortable getting back into YouTube. And whether or not you want to do your channel, if you only just want to hop on people's channels every so often, I think that I want you to be comfortable doing it, knowing that nobody's going to hold what's happened to you against you, because, I mean, it's not your fault. It's not your fault at all.
I do take some responsibility, I have to say, and I don't think can't apologise enough to Kaz. I can't, because I just feel so dreadful about everything, and I've said this to you so many times, and I really do.
No,
And I can't get over that. I'm finding it really hard
do you
to
know
get
what?
over.
It will give it time. Give it time. It'll go. I promise.
I know, but I really do. It really has affected me. That's affected me probably more than anything, actually, out of all of it. The fact that she could have actually killed Kaz, and I would have been part of that. Not meaning to, but part of the whole plan.
You and everybody else.
You know that phrase. You know that phrase. Coulda, woulda, shoulda.
Yeah,
I know, but it has
Judge Judy. I love Judge Judy. Judge Judy is another person who I don't believe. I don't agree with her on a lot of things, but this coulda, woulda, shoulda thing. You can always look back and go, you know, I could have, or I should have, or I would have done something different. The problem, the thing is, what you should do is go, you know what? It's like any other problem. We were really lucky. We came out of this, you know, fairly okay. Our friendship is still intact now, you know, and just move forward. And knowing that you're going to be more aware that this is a possibility of something that can happen to you or anybody else. I mean, maybe you, because I think everything happens for a reason. And maybe you had to experience this so that 10 years down the line, you can prevent it from happening to somebody else, or telling your story makes somebody go, oh, you know what? My friend is kind of acting like this. Maybe I should, you know, look into this or whatever. You just don't know the reason why you had to go through this.
Yeah.
But I'm sure a positive is going to come out of it. And you may never know what that positive is, but you really need to not beat yourself up over it.
Can you remember what I was saying earlier about stuff that I've done when I was younger that I don't feel good about? And what did I do with it? You have to just stick it in. You've done it now. So you just learn from it and take it and move forward with it.
It's really hard to get rid of those feelings, and it really is really.
Time will help that. My daughter.
Okay.
She grabbed the treats off the desk over here for the dogs.
It'll take time. Like I said, I thought I was fine until I had a nightmare last night, and I thought, oh, that's a bit of, you know, repressed trauma. Just wait, but as long as it's just in my dreams, I'll be happy with that. That'll be fine. Don't worry.
Well, I've told you about nightmares. I've told you about what's going on with nightmares. I'm not going to spread it here.
I think that's just your brain's way of processing, because obviously it's your subconscious, isn't it? So you've got to get on and live your life, not just stop working and stop talking to people. And it's just my way of processing it. But I'm fairly content that we're doing the right thing. People are on the right track. And what more can we want now that we've been through this? It's a learning experience, and if we can't learn from it, it was no good at all. So just think of it that way. You know, if don't let that horrible feeling. I know it's easier said than done to make it go away, because it just probably won't go away on its own.
No.
But try and turn it into a positive and think it didn't happen. I'm fine. I'm here, and I'm sassier than ever.
I love that. But yeah, no, it's been.
I am stronger than I have ever been in my life.
I know you are.
Because of what I've been through. So that's a very positive thing. So like Kim says, everything happens for a reason. Maybe this was supposed to happen to me. Maybe this was.
Well, and you guys, I mean, you know, you have a support system. I mean, there are probably people that she may have done this to that don't have that.
Yes, true. Yeah.
But she was trying to separate us from my husband as well. There's a bit of that going on.
Yes, she was.
Luckily, not successful. But you know that he's been my rock. Him and Evie, and Mandy, the three people who basically helped me through it when I had nobody else.
Right.
And I can't say thank you enough to these people, because they believed in us. And obviously my husband knows us because he married us. You know somebody. He's known us for But like people who was like from online, they're not the only people who the people I've named, but there are people who like the whole time were like they didn't know anything about it, but when it came out, they were like, I can't believe this. But I think it's very easy for people to say that I can't believe what they said about you. I think that's quite. If you're not in that situation, yeah, I get it. But at the same time, I can also understand their perspective that they can't believe what was believed about us. But
I do need to say
she didn't quite believe it either. She was just kind of.
Well, when you don't live, however it was that she presented the information to the people, it's very easy to go, well, how in the world could you believe that? But you know, there could have been a backstory that she kind of led up to whatever it was that she was, you know, like she could have planned it out. Like I'm going to say this first, and then because I mean, she obviously was very calculating about how she let this all unfold.
Well, she would choose people as well because the people that I've named, those 3 people that I named, if she'd gone to them with anything, they would have just told her to shut off. There would have been none of that. There would have been shut up. But because she already had an ongoing friendship with Lisa, it was easier for her to do it. It didn't just come out of the blue. It was a long-term. It's a different kind of thing.
Right.
Than just telling somebody something, isn't it?
But you know, she was on video. Over 2 years ago, whenever it was, a year and a half ago, she was on video having shoved a pillow up her jumper to pretend she was pregnant.
Yeah.
She said she was 38 weeks pregnant or 36 weeks or something, and she had shoved a pillow up her jumper and appeared on video, and then pretended that she didn't realise she was on video, but had appeared on video with a pillow up her jumper to give the whole. That was the start of the whole kind of everything, the whole facade.
I think Evie's.
But then she was doing. But then that was the whole facade for the YouTube community. She'd already been doing it for a good 3 years with other people in the UK before any of this happened. She was already.
She was lying at 12. She was making up stories about herself at 12. She was called at 12 years old, pretending to be somebody she wasn't online.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's how early this started.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you one thing that this thing has done for me is it's driven some traffic to my channel because they're all searching for her name in two different spellings and Loopy Lisa and Cass.
Good. Yeah. Good. Anybody who's passing by, get that subscribe button pressed and let's get Kim up to start from. Instead of, you know, yes, get some subscribers on this darn channel, people.
I only want good ones though, so you know, like if you're if you're full, we don't want you subscribing. What?
Well, I only have good subscribers, so anybody I send is good.
No,
I block all the awful people.
Any trolls tonight? I haven't been watching.
No.
Oh my god.
Nope, everyone's behaving.
You know, sometimes your
except for
reputation.
Streamlabs.
Yeah, Streamlabs was the only rogue thing going on there. I don't even know how many. But no, maybe my reputation precedes me.
Well, yes, you take no nonsense.
Of course.
No nonsense. There's nothing wrong with that.
Of course, nothing wrong. You've been amazing. Actually, all three of you have been so supportive. I was messaging with Kaz before we came on, and she was like amazing. And Kim, you've been fab. Laurie, you've been amazing.
I'm just hanging out.
And I love that.
Hanging out with the girls.
But I'm not gonna discuss but after the last live that we did, Laurie and Kim, we sat and chatted, and it was honestly, you're just wonderful people. If only people could see kind of what I saw with you two the other night. You're just amazing, incredible people, and all of you're just so wonderful. And I'm very lucky.
Where there's an atmosphere where there's a lack of judgment.
Yes.
Don't judge each other either way. conversations can be had. People can have polar opposite opinions.
Yeah.
Still converse with each other and still be friends.
Yes.
And that's pretty damned cool.
Yeah.
That is pretty cool.
I'm
Well,
blessed.
that's one of the things that I never have understood. There's a lot of channels where they say, no politics, no religion. Okay, so then to me that means you have to make a dividing line, right? Okay, so does that mean if you don't talk religion on your channel, does that mean you can't say, oh, I'll pray for you? I mean, like, where is the line? That's the part I don't like. Like, where is that line drawn? There were the riots at the Capitol the other day, and I was watching a channel, and they wanted to say something in the chat, and they're like, oh, can't do that. That's political. Well, okay, but that's political. That's actually something that's on the news, that something is actually happening. And, why wouldn't we at least say what's happening? So to me, I find that is more of a closed-mindedness than I care to have on my channel. I'm not going to go out there and say, okay, well, we can talk religion all day and politics. I mean, there are only certain people you can have a wide spectrum of those discussions with. But my whole thought on this is, you can't continue to learn and grow as a person if you don't ever see somebody's differing opinion than yours, or differing views or beliefs.
Yeah,
and no, you can be friends with people that you don't agree with, and you can have discussions about the things that you don't agree with that person, as long as you approach those discussions correctly.
Yes.
And are just having discussions and not trying to browbeat them into believing or thinking the way that you do, because they're another individual person, right?
Yes.
And so, to me, I don't understand why people can't have these open discussions about these things, because, I mean, I'm a Catholic and Kaz is not. But Kaz and I get along just fine.
But we were actually talking about religion, weren't we? We were actually having a discussion with each other. Kim and I have talked about it on many occasions. We find each other very interesting. I don't think there's there's no judgment there. We just find it interesting, and we say, this is what we think. This is, wow, okay. And what sort of resonated with me from those conversations is there are a lot of similarities in morality, and I think it comes down to your morals are different from your beliefs in many ways, and I think you will have a perspective of your belief that works with your morality as a person. And I think we all know people who've used religion as an excuse to do things, all kinds of religions, to do horrible things. It's an excuse. It's about the person and their lack of morality. And where people have faith, and their faith supports their morality, and they're wanting to do good and learn and grow and be there for their fellow human being.
Absolutely.
There's nothing wrong with that in any way, shape or form. And, the issues come when people are people, as they will be, and aren't always that nice and use these things as an excuse. That's the problem.
I had an interesting thing happen. I was watching a live, and somebody was talking about smudging. I'm completely okay with smudging. I don't have any issues. I mean, my Catholic faith has no issues with smudging.
Don't know what that
but
is.
then they started talking about crystals and stuff, and I know this is more, kind of your thing, Kaz. And I was sitting there, and I was just listening, and I was thinking about what they were talking about, and I thought, okay, so
what's smudging?
Okay.
Hang on a second. I'll be right back.
We're going to get a visual here.
Huh? No, she went to go get something to explain it to you.
No, I didn't have a tea problem. So, this is a smudge stick.
Right.
Okay.
Right?
Oh my God,
so it's bundled sage that's tied together.
Okay.
And you light it,
And
then
sometimes it has other than sage in there, right? Like sometimes there's other things in there too,
yeah,
right?
you can use other things, yeah, because
Okay.
sometimes I use lavender as well, which actually
Okay.
smells a lot nicer than the sage.
Okay.
But I can tell why the sage keeps the evil spirits away, because it stinks. And then, you know, wafted around and it cleanses the area.
Okay.
You know,
So like negative energy or people who have problems with paranormal activity and those kinds of things. Okay.
Mhm.
So I was fine with that, you know, okay, that's fine. But then I thought, oh, this kind of is a bit of a religious thing. Okay. But you know, they're talking about it and then they're talking about the crystals and I'm thinking, okay, well, I don't really buy into everything about the crystals. Okay. I mean, there are some scientific things with the crystals that I do believe that they, you know, can uh, be helpful. Okay. But I thought to myself, okay, so here we are back at this is exactly why I don't put that description on my channel that we won't talk religion and we won't talk politics, because where do you draw that line? I mean, those crystals really are religious to some people, just like yoga is religious to some people,
That's
right?
true. Yeah.
But not others. Other people just exercise. So where do you draw that line? I don't want to have to draw those lines. Where I will draw the line is who I might choose to have those discussions with. If people can't behave when you have those discussions with them, then no, they're not going to be, you know, allowed to have those discussions with us because it's not worth it. I mean, you know, you can't have an interesting discussion for, you know, the people watching if you're just screaming and yelling at each other.
if you can't learn anything from it, if you can't
Right.
take anything from it, there's no point in partaking in it, is there? You know.
Well, and I think that having those discussions, you do learn about people's other parts of people's personality that you normally wouldn't. And so if they have a reaction to something that is different than yours, you might be able to go, oh, well, this is why, because they're looking at the world from this way, where you're looking at the world from this way. And so, oh, okay, that makes sense. It's nothing personal to me or to whoever, you know, they had this reaction to. That's just their view of the world and how they react to it. And so to me, it makes people, I guess, more understanding to each other. It should.
Yeah.
Chad?
Yeah. I agree.
You should be no like I've always said I don't care where anybody's from. I don't care. I mean, obviously racism and things like that, they're issues, they're moral issues though. That's a moral issue.
Right. Right.
But other things, and I'll come back to that. So
What
the
the
moral
guy?
issues is a different thing, but beliefs is different. And if you're an a-hole, you're an a-hole. If you're not, you're not. And that applies to everybody across the board.
Yeah.
If you don't treat people with dignity and respect and equality, then you're an a-hole. And it doesn't matter what we believe in. If you are
Right.
an a-hole, you're going to use that against to follow your own immoral agenda. And I find that good people are good people, and they're good people because they work at it and they take the time with it and they want to treat people the way they expect to be treated.
Right.
And that's always been my line. I don't care where you're from, what colour you are, what you believe in. If you're a good person and you have morals, that'll do me. I'm not asking for anything more than that.
Right. You know, it's just like you know, we have this all inclusivity thing going on now, you know, and all the companies over here, they've, you know, sent out memos and they're jumping on board, and I have no problem with that. But I'm a questioner. I always ask questions. I've done it with my religion my whole life, you know, and then gone and searched out the answers, right? But my question was, okay, so we know why they're doing this, but does this mean that they're going to be more inclusive of females, because they've been very non-inclusive of females in the hierarchy of the company, right? So does that include females? And I wonder, you know, but I can't just go to them and go, You know, is this going to include females? You know, because, but see, to me, that's another thing. If you're going to include everybody, you include everybody.
Yes.
It doesn't matter.
No.
It doesn't matter who you are, male, female, purple, green, you know,
Absolutely, and
yellow,
yes.
white. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Everybody should be included. If you're being inclusive, you have to include everybody. It doesn't matter who they are or how much you hate them.
Absolutely, yes.
It doesn't matter.
That's
Well, you
true.
can't like everybody, you know.
Exactly. And you never will. You never will. It's impossible. It's impossible. But it makes the world go round, doesn't it? In the
It
end.
does. People
I
have
don't need
to-
that. I'm not going to dox myself on air either. My husband just handed me a piece of mail.
I actually did that once. I filmed my cat climbing into a box.
Oh yeah, you know, I've started really, you know, I was like, I think I have come close to doing that before, and I'm like, I got to be careful with that.
I've done it so many times. I've still got videos up on my channel with my credit card details.
Well, hopefully it's expired by now.
Because it opens our phone, and our phone flap has our cards in it.
I know, you know.
I should probably take those down. Let's do
Yeah,
it.
You could just clip that out.
I did tell her she can blur
You
it.
could just clip that out.
You can only use
come on now,
YouTube.
But if the card's expired,
I don't even know what that means. Clip that out. What is that?
Like, okay, we had this conversation before about you going on and blur. She accidentally doxed me once. She put my real name
I
up.
did.
Put a photograph of us
I
on
dox
Facebook.
everyone.
you must have missed that.
You can just blur it out in YouTube Studio, or I'll just delete the video.
I'm so bad.
Well, here's the thing, Lisa. Now I'm not monetized. I'm not monetized, but just here's the thing. You just want to clip that out of the video, because if you take the whole thing down, you lose all those views and everything.
Okay, so I'll be chatting with you later.
Well, then we'll learn it together, because I've never done it before.
It's actually really easy. It's really easy to do.
No idea. I can just about do a video. That's about it. Hopeless. Everyone knows that I'm hopeless. It's all good. Nobody's used my credit card so far.
Well, we need Kaz and I sometimes need somebody to balance us out, so you know.
Keeps me grounded.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah.
You know, every time I would see Lisa grab her phone to look at chat, and you know, I'd say, God, I hope she keeps that, you know, held down so nobody picks up anything off of it.
No, I'm literally like that with my
because
phone.
you know, the things I think one of the things you don't. I think one of the things as a YouTuber you don't necessarily think about is there are people projecting us on their huge TVs, like huge TVs. I mean, I have a big monitor right here that I'm looking at, but huge TVs, and it blows that information up really big.
Do you know what was really funny? The last time I did it, I was there and I was looking at the chat at the same time, and people were going, card. And I'm like, what? What are they talking about? Card. What?
And you're holding it up there longer, right? You're like, yep, here's my card.
That's where I get to the point where, like, I'm gonna have to actually phone her and tell her. I'm gonna have to phone her and tell her that our card's off. It's like the photograph behind us. Look, yeah, that's my wedding photograph. If that's on a big screen, you'd be able to see that probably.
I know. Oh my god! I'm gonna have to go back right now, won't I? And delete.
Don't delete the video. Just clip out the bad stuff.
I don't know how to do that.
Okay, well, somebody will show you how to do it.
Okay.
Behind the scenes.
We'll have a tutorial. I haven't got anything to blur out. I suppose I could blur out a skull from when I went randonauting the other day, but I quite like that he's on there. He hasn't even got a name. He's just kind of sits in the garden, my skull.
Your skull?
You weren't there for the beginning of the video the other day, when I went randonauting.
I was in, but yeah, I must have missed it.
I've got a skull in the front garden, and he just sits in the flower bed. And I said, that's what happened to the last person who turned up to my house uninvited.
Is it a real skull?
No.
Is it real?
No.
Okay.
I wouldn't have an actual skull in the garden. I'm weird, but I'm not that weird.
I liked your little. Okay, so I somehow, what did I come across about that random thing that you did?
Randonautica.
That was really
Yeah. I thought about doing that. God, it might have been a couple of months ago. Of course, I tell my daughter about it after I watch your video, and I'm like, maybe you and I should do this. And she's like, Mom, that is so like 2017 or whatever the heck she told me.
2017.
I'm like, well, that's okay. We're old. We're just now catching up.
Well, the thing that got me attention was when the bodies were found, obviously me being into the creepy element of things, and then I went and looked at some TikToks and looked at all these kids freaking out and all history on it.
Yeah, well, see, that's the one I saw. I must have seen it in some kind of, it must have been one like a YouTube thing that was like either like the Next Up or something like that, where they were showing clips of stuff. And that's when I think I saw that on there, and I thought, oh my gosh! But then I thought, I wonder if this app. I actually did look up the app then, because I was like, I wonder if this app is like the the geocaching. You know how it's just like, although they're not necessarily random, because people have placed things there and then popped it in
into the hunt, isn't it, by GPS
right
coordinates? Yeah.
Can I just, have you seen what Evie put?
Oh, no.
She says it's a skull, but she's got
bodies elsewhere. Mandy Hall, she sings them bones quite a lot.
Can I just say, Evie knows her better than anyone. Slightly concerning.
It's fine. Oh, God.
Oh, if only I were the only YouTuber with skeletons in my closet.
Whose skeletons were they?
Oh, I forget. It was a long time. I did say I did some bad things in my past.
We've all done it.
Oh, dear.
We've all got skeletons in our closet.
Nobody really has. Like, I haven't, because I can't be bothered to hide them. They would be sticking out. I'm both untidy.
You have an arm hanging out. Or a leg. Something hanging out.
Couldn't close the door all the way.
Sticking out at the bottom of the door like that. No, don't make the mistake Dennis Nielsen did and run out of space.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my God, did you see that documentary on Dennis Nielsen?
Was it not TV series with David?
Yes, oh, that's so good.
Did you see that? Have you got that in the States?
I don't know what that is. What is it?
It's about a serial killer called Dennis Nielsen.
What is that the name of the show?
It's called, the name of the show is Des. It's
DEC or DES?
DES.
And it's got David Tennant in it, who played Doctor Who.
Yeah, and it's true. He was a serial killer, and he killed and he was so clever as well. Wasn't
very like Jeffrey Dahmer.
Like who?
And he was before
Jeffrey Dahmer.
Oh yeah.
He was very much like Jeffrey Dahmer in his sort of the way he used to go out and pull young men and bring them back and kill them.
What did he say?
So clever. And he was a good manipulator. He tried manipulating loads of people around him. So again, it all ties
What
in.
I liked about Dennis Nielsen was when they caught him, he was just kind of like, right, I'm caught. And he just spilled his beans immediately, just told them all about it, and all he was concerned about was his dog.
Yeah. And he killed like what, 12 people?
That was
16.
my daughter stepping on a toy. I was like, what was that
It
sound?
just went beep.
Hi,
Oh.
Samantha.
Lisa says, hi, Samantha.
Sorry says it's on IMDb. If anybody wants to check where it's at, it might tell you where it is.
All right.
So good. And actually, David Tennant, the guy that plays David Nielsen, I've watched actual footage of Dennis Nielsen.
Quit.
And David Tennant is absolutely
Really
on
captured him.
point. He is incredible.
Even
it could be him.
Just right
could be
down to
him.
the ill-fitting shirt. Because
Yeah.
he had this blue shirt on when they questioned him the first time,
Yeah.
and it was just like all of his mannerisms. He was a chain smoker.
Yeah.
That's all in there as well.
Yeah.
It's
Amazing.
a really good portrayal of a
Yeah.
killer. It's
Really good. And
Well, I just
mannerisms, everything was incredible. Really,
I
really
just got done watching something that I want to discuss, but it is a religion and political discussion all in one. I posted it in
It's a
Discord.
twofer.
I'm not using Discord anymore, but so I am asking anybody who wants to watch it so they can talk about it with me, because I'm interested to see how people react to it. And it's called The Family, and it's on Netflix.
Okay. Can I just say, there are so many new people coming in and out all the time. I can't keep up. So hi everybody that's new, that's coming in. Sorry, there's been loads of people coming in, so it's really hard to keep up, but it's lovely to see so many people popping in and out. It's amazing. Sorry, I just want to say that. The Family.
The Family.
Netflix now.
Yes.
We've got it,
It's
yeah.
like a docu-series. I think that's what it is. I actually think I was wrong, Eminem Mama. I think it's 5 episodes, I think.
Yes, it is. It's 5 episodes.
Okay. It's really interesting, and it's not really just in the U.S., although it kind of started here. But I'm interested to see what other people's insight is on it, because I was kind of a little shocked by it, actually. I mean,
The Keepers as well. Have you seen The Keepers?
The Keepers, yes, I love that series.
that was-
I've watched it twice now.
Hmm.
I really want to discuss that series.
Well, we can, because I'll discuss it with you.
Okay.
We can do a live for that. That's not a problem. But we'll might as well do a twofer, and I'll watch this one as well, because there's similar themes around them.
Okay.
I'm really worried that I've doxed Laurie, because
Why?
I heard you call her Eminem Mama.
Laurie's
Oh, she goes
fine.
back and forth.
Can I tell you something? Calling people by their first names is not doxing anybody.
Okay, that's all right. Because I heard
You know what is doxing somebody? Sharing personal, private information that's not available to the public.
So their full name or their address.
Or phone number.
I have that. So.
Yes, email address. Pictures that aren't publicly available.
Have those too.
Sounds to me like Lisa's the person.
Meet me on Facebook.
She's the one with all the.
She's gonna be blackmailing everybody. She's gonna.
I'm only joking. I have not. But yeah, no.
Even Scorpio says I watched The Keepers a year ago. It was great. See, I know we've got people that have watched The Keepers too. So okay, we'll do The Keepers and The Family.
You might get Evie up for that. She's coming on my live tomorrow.
Oh, interesting. What time is that?
4:00 in the afternoon.
Okay, so I will be getting ready for work right then. So I will
watch it on replay.
Yeah, we're going back to another.
Yeah, or try.
Anyway, I'm not going to talk about my channel. I was just plugging Evie because she's
No,
clever.
no, you need to. Yeah, no.
Evie's got her own channel.
Yeah, she does. She doesn't do anything on it yet.
Can you put the link in there? You're a mod. You should be able to put the link in there.
I can do that.
because I didn't know she had a channel. And I have a question. Is anybody else having this issue with YouTube? Used to, I could click on people in the chat
Can't do it
and it would
anymore.
say go to their channel. And you can't do that. What happened to that? How am I supposed to go to their channel?
It's impossible. You can't do it anymore.
Why
Well,
not?
why did they do that?
There's
That
a
was
link to
such a
Evie's
good
channel,
thing.
everybody. Go and subscribe. Because when
That
she
was such
starts,
a good-
when
that was
I
such a
managed
good
to,
thing.
Because these
They
people
stay
with
there.
these, you know, if I'm on my phone and these people with these like weird
Yeah.
spelling long names, and you can't search for them in the search box very easily.
no, yeah, you used
Yeah.
to just be able to click on them and go to that channel, and you can't
Yes.
anymore. Took it away.
Why?
Okay.
Oh,
Uh-oh. It jumped on me.
it jumped.
There we go. No, it did. What the heck? Everybody, give me a moment.
Everybody get up, sing it.
Okay, so I want to
Everybody.
get this link.
Yeah. Why am I singing Backstreet Boys?
I don't know, but I just
Because
subscribed. So
they are
everybody,
incredible.
go and subscribe to Evie.
And subscribe to Evie because
Believe it or not, she has less subscribers than I do, which is hard to believe that anybody does.
How many have you got now?
I don't know. I had 131 when we started. I don't know what I have now.
133.
Oh, so come on now, people. Are you not subscribing to
I think most of the people here are probably already subscribed to Kim. I have to be honest.
Yeah,
The people who come over from my channel are probably already.
What we really need is people to start sharing it out and get it, you know, in
Yes.
circulation.
Share the live out. You know, let's have a bit of drama. Let's have an argument. I'm joking. I'm not that.
Let them come here. Let them come here. I would love to give them a piece of my mind.
Oh, fighting talk. I love it.
Mrs. Roger Rabbit.
I'm subscribed.
She says I already subscribed. You have been for a long time. I know.
Oh, I love her. Oh, do you know what? Whenever I think of Mrs. Roger Rabbit, I just think pink.
I know. And there's been a couple of gaming setups that I have been very tempted to send her.
Amazing.
Because they're all pink. You know, every time I see a pink gaming setup, I think of her.
Pinkness. She's just amazing. I love her.
That she has.
Oh, I love her. I love her.
I miss her face.
I love her. I miss her. I do miss her a lot, actually. So that's another reason why I need to get back on so that I can.
Exactly. And maybe now that, you know, we've had the tidal wave, you know, maybe now we've had all of that, we can get back to where it was fun and normal. And well, it's never been normal. I'm not going to tell lies. I'm not a liar. We can get back to fun and actually enjoying what we do here.
Yeah. And Gigi, Radka, just Mandy, Eve, all of you. Just it's amazing.
Lisa loves everybody. That's what that all means. Lisa loves everybody.
I do.
Equal opportunities.
Yes, I do. I do.
Well,
I think it's time to call it a night for me. It's just gone.
I do too. It's like midnight at your place, isn't it?
Yeah, and I'm about to turn into a pumpkin at any moment.
And I have a teenage hoverer that wants a ride somewhere.
Yes, I thought you must want something.
Yeah, of course she does. Well, everybody, okay. Thank you for coming. Thank you guys on panel for coming. Lisa, thank you for sharing your story.
Thank you. No, thank you very much for having me. Really, it's been incredible. Thank you so much for having us.
Warrior. Remember?
Xena, the warrior princess.
Yeah. Thanks to the chat as well. Lovely.
Yes, thank you to everybody in the chat for coming. And thank you for everybody for behaving and being kind to everybody and not yelling at Nightbot. And I'm sorry, Evie, about I don't know where Streamlabs came in and hijacked you there a little bit. I apologize for that. Hopefully we can get rid of that for the next time.
Sally.
But if everybody wants to help me out, because I am going to be making more content and I am going to get back in the swing of things just like everybody else, share it out, please, because we have to get into keep the rhythm that we have going of traffic, because it's all green thumbs up and up and up. So if we keep that, we'll get more subscribers, be able to do more fun things, and kind of make it more legit. So please hit the thumbs up, subscribe, all that good stuff. And don't forget Discord. Nightbot just shared the link to Discord. It should bring you right in if you're interested in, other chit chat and other goofiness. And I'll catch you all next time. So thank you guys. I will talk to you guys soon.
Yeah. Bye.
Love you. Thank
Good
you.
night.
Bye.